though. That's what we need everywhere. Wish we can get that everywhere, and people start taking it serious because we say these cliche things like children of the future, but then it's all about demographic. It's all about the money. Where you guys are from, it's a bigger city. You have more money coming into the city. I'm from the sticks. I'm from the country. You know, these kids where I'm from, if you can't run a football or shoot a basketball, you're going to be shooting somebody, is what it seems like, or you're going to be a rapper. So we got to get these programs to where they go to the smaller cities as well as the big cities.
Yeah, let's bring this up. Let's bring this to your city.
Yeah.
Being a rapper right now is probably the most dangerous 9 to 5 you can have in the world.
Being a celebrity, period, is the most. That's what I tell them. Don't call me no celebrity. The treatment is different. They call you a celebrity. People walk up on you, disrespect you. Judges and prosecutors treat you different when your name come across the docket. And that's the worst thing in the world is to label another human being something else when we all breathe the same air. I don't want to be a celebrity. I just want to be a man.
Right on.
Yeah.
So I know you don't have a lot of time, fam. So
I'm good. The work meetings they ain't called, so I'm good.
All right,
they usually call me into the meeting. Like, hey, yeah, we did. Okay, good. I'm good.
But this is important what you're doing, man. I think we should do this more. Karcino, you need to schedule this thing for like updates, monthly updates. I'll make it to where all you gotta do is hit my phone, and then
I'm gonna let some of the people come in that might want to ask you some questions.
Let's do it.
So here it is.
They don't want to talk to me. They want to talk to this anomaly right here.
I would want to talk to KB and say, hey, what's in that mama's cooking?
Hey, Karcino, after my video finished breaking up, I cleared it up, and I said some pretty good stuff. You can chop that up and react to that, but they gonna want to talk to this anomaly right here.
Yeah. Oh, here comes T from Detroit. Oh, T, you can show your face, not T. Okay, all right.
I want to see my man in the flesh, man. Good. Salute to you, Kwame Brown. Salute to you, Dante, bro. I'm from the deep. You know what I'm saying? So I understand a lot of what you're saying, man. And Detroit, we've been struggling on all of those bases too. We need the foundation here. You know, them programs here have been turned off since the 90s. You know, and they always got money to do everything else except for put back into the community. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, we can't get Detroit right now. I'm hot with the city of Detroit right now just because of how they played us with the casinos. I ain't even from Detroit, but how they played us with the casinos. The casinos were built to provide money and funding for the schools. But that percentage, and then in read the fine print, that percentage is like pennies on the dollar. So now they giving the money back, but they giving them like $10 a year or something stupid. That ain't gonna keep no schools open.
That's how all the gimmicks go. You know what I'm saying? Like the same thing with the lottery. You know, the lottery was supposed to fund all the schools here.
All the schools.
You know what I'm saying? But what you see is that the money that the lottery spend, that they give to the state, it just replaces the school budget. So it's just the same thing. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, man, they play a lot of games with us. They play a lot of games with our communities, man. And, you know, you doing it from the ground up. Like, I want to see that. I want to see what you're doing come to the city, man, because I swear we need it here because, you know, these kids, man, they ain't got nothing to do, man. And you stay here, so I don't know if you get the news from Detroit, man, and it's just, man, they wilding down here now. You know what I'm saying? They are wilding.
I can say that because I live in LA, but when I got to LA, I say I'm never moving back there. And I'm moving back to start my program, man, because it's needed, and they need me. So I never thought I'd move back to Michigan, but I'm definitely moving back to start my program, period. And I can't count on nobody else to do it for me.
That's what's up, man. I being from the city, man, I wanna be involved if you're coming to the D or where even Saginaw, because I got people in Saginaw too, or that's from Saginaw. So, you know, man, all the urban areas, Saginaw, Flint, Battle Creek, Detroit, Benton Harbor,
Pontiac, yes sir.
Pontiac, yes sir. You know,
my guy is in Pontiac country.
Oh yeah, I know country. Yes sir. Yes sir.
Hey man, you know too many people, man.
shot in the truck most of the time.
Yeah.
All right, well, I just want to say salute to y'all, man. Karcino, salute to you, bro, because you've been doing this, man. We've been doing this for a year, man. So salute, man. I'm glad of all the work everybody been doing, man. But the actual work is what needs to be done, man. Talking's over.
Yep.
That's
Peace,
what
man.
Salute to you, my brother.
All right, Gears. Gears, what's up?
What up, man? What up, Cino?
What's good?
Dog, say what up. Kwame, what up, man?
What's going on, brother?
What's good? Nice to meet you, bro. Nice to meet you, man. I'm from Brooklyn, man. Die-hard Laker fan. Mom's a die-hard Kobe fan.
Yeah.
I remember when you got drafted. I was a kid. You know what I'm saying? And I remember the talk, all of the stuff you say, how Stephen A. at the schools. I'm a fan of Stephen A. That's personal. You know what I'm saying? But I never liked how he kept talking about you randomly throughout the years. I just assumed there was like an arrogance he created. I went to school for that stuff, so they teach you a little about that, radio and TV classes and stuff like that. But I know for a fact that you earned my man's respect. That's what I care about. And Kobe, you earned Kobe's respect. I like it. You know what I'm saying? I remember all the games. And I remember when you left the Lakers and had a kind of I don't want to say better career, but you had better games. You know what I'm saying? More highlights. If anybody wants to see Kwame's highlights, Kwame got a whole bunch of highlights when he's coming down the lane dunking on people, catching passes from Kobe. So you got my utmost respect. Don't let nobody get you down. I know nobody get you down. Real witty, real funny. That mama's cooking. Love it. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm gonna let you know.
Yeah.
Like, everybody in New York is not like that dude. You know what I'm saying? Like, we're not all different boroughs and stuff like that. I'm in LA now. I moved to LA to get away from that a little bit. You know what I'm saying? Because New York can be real. It's a lot. It's a lot. And people's mindsets, like, when you dealing with a homie, sometimes all the stuff we going through can just be bugging us out. Like, you know what I mean? Dude is crazy.
Yeah.
Dude is crazy. So I came out either way, but I respect you like crazy, Kwame, for real. I always liked you, bro. Always.
Yes, sir.
You was the man playing in 2K on live. You be live, you know what I mean?
Yeah. But see, the thing that people got to understand, what Stephen A. did and what he's able to get away with, just imagine, I can't do what Dante does. I'm no rocket scientist. I don't know how to create a car. Imagine me critiquing what he's doing and speaking about something that I can't do. And they always do that, and they target kids from a certain area. All of you guys know what it's like being from the hood. And if a kid from the hood and a kid from the suburbs get in trouble, what normally happens to the kid from the hood? It usually, that situation follow him forever. And what are some of the things that they say about me? They talk about what my daddy did. They talk about how poor I was. They talk about where I'm from. They don't talk about the things that I was able to accomplish. They don't talk about the things that I did with less. So that's why it's always about the foundation. What Karcino said was right. It's about that family structure and that foundation, so the powers that be can't use where you're from. To have a man talk about a guy for 20 years, and they don't just do it to me. The prison system at every level, there's an attack on these black males, and we have to stop that. But we join in the fun on the joke. And I think it's a little bit of jealousy, and it's a little bit of, we just don't think about it, that there's no white guys. We have Brian Scalabrine, known as the White Mamba. Name the black guy that's the equivalent of the Brian Scalabrine. I don't know. See, they make sure that white men get to stand up and be full-bodied men at the end of the day. Kwame Brown, I go back to the inner city, I go back to the hood. Some of the kids, they design it so people don't listen to you. Why would you want to listen to a busty bus? Why would a kid want to think he can learn something from a busty bus? But when Brian Scalabrine is done playing, he now has an executive job with the Golden State Warriors, I think, allegedly. I don't know, I might have snapped. But this doesn't happen for black people. Kareem Abdul-Jabbar is one of our greatest basketball players that ever lace him up. Does he have a job anywhere?
Nah. And he's at every Laker game just sitting there, too.
Why is that?
I don't know. I think it was because, you talked about it before, right? Like, just politics and what he stands for, I think it is. And that's crazy today.
He wasn't liked by the media because he spoke his mind.
Say that one more time. He wasn't what?
He wasn't liked by the media because he spoke his mind.
Yo,
and it wasn't what the agenda was.
You would think that today, though, Kareem would get a job being like that. Being able to speak up.
No, they keep thinking it's about this thing being a bust.
Yep.
Chris Jackson, aka Mahmoud, was one of the best shooters in the game. He's around none of these kids, which he's great for the kids. Like, all he does is eat, sleep, and breathe basketball. I believe Mahmoud could play a quarter in the NBA right now.
Right.
At 50-something, almost 50 years old, he can give you one quarter every night. And I'm talking about a real quarter. Because that's how he eat, breathe, sleep basketball. He shows these kids things that other people can't do. He's relatable. And he's exiled away from the kids. There's a system to keep these great men away from these children.
But why? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, what's the...
Because it inspires people.
Look, I can't, Victor.
Go ahead.
I can't tell Victor. I can't keep telling you on their platforms that you're a king, and that they try to make you realize that you're a king, and you got all the power, and you're the great. Yeah. I can't keep doing that on their platform. I can't promote you. I can't. Here's what it is. I can't empower you. I can't keep on put positivity into you.
But they did it for
that ain't what we on.
But they did it for LeBron for so long.
Who?
LeBron. They do it for LeBron. They've been doing it for LeBron for so long.
What did LBJ say they was gonna do about our leaders? What did Danny Bang Johnson say he was gonna do? I need to answer the question. I don't know. I might have snapped. What did he say?
I don't know. I don't know word for word.
He said the leaders that we get, we were going to be given these leaders.
Yeah. That's exactly what he said.
They're supposed to accept that.
Yeah, but see, LeBron's going to say the same thing. He's going to say that whatever the program is, he's going to follow it to the letter. So it don't matter the thing about him. You know, they're going to make him look like he's doing something, but his job is to follow the agenda. He going to choose the agenda every time. They already know that. He is exactly what they want.
Stephen A. Smith shouldn't. Because I remember once upon a time Stephen A. Smith got blackballed. I remember that.
But he was talking about women when that happened.
Mm-hmm. Yep. See, some people they follow the program, but they get off script. And when they get off script and they end up saying something, they get reminded of where their place is.
You're gonna get reminded.
They did SmackDown.
Now, when that happened with Ray Rice, the Ray Rice situation.
Oh my God! Yeah.
When that happened, he should have left.
Yeah.
And he could have started his own thing and still been bigger than him. But he didn't see that for himself because his thing is, in his mind, is how do I make my boss more money and how do I get some of it? That's his mentality. Word for word from him. That's what he said. He said, He said, my mentality when I wake up every day is, how do I make my boss rich and how do I get a piece of it? I'm like, wow. That is the most. I can care less how
much before I go, I'm gonna go. But before I get somebody else on, before I go, the emasculation of a black man, right? I gotta stop. That's what bothers me, and I feel like I don't want to speak on having a position I don't have. I'm not speaking this stuff. I don't work for ESPN, but I am from New York. And I know that no matter how much money we really get, how we really are inside, and for him to have that platform, there got to be a way he stops that because he encouraged me as a teammate. He's probably not encouraging anybody right now. I could be wrong, but I don't think so. I don't feel that from him anymore like I used to. And I still should. You know what I'm saying? Like, I still like him. I still watch First Take every day. He doesn't give that. You know what I'm saying? I walk around saying things like, like black men, we need to take back control of our community because it is what it is. You know what I'm saying? And I walk around saying, I'm the type of dude still pee outside. Like, you know what I mean? Real man. I was out there peeing today. Yes, sir. If I ain't got enough room to pee, it ain't for me. Yeah, for real. Respect. Nice to meet you, Dante. Kwame, for real. Love, man.
Yes, sir.
All right.
Jose, what's up?
Keep it up. What's up, Dante? Hey, Jose, how you doing, man? Nice to meet you.
What's up, brother? How you doing?
How are you? My brother, how are you?
Good.
How are you? Now, I on IG account 2 months ago, but I if you know, probably didn't see it, so allow me to just say what I said on the deal. If that's all right with you?
That's all right.
All right. So I said that I understood why you have to capture Jack, like you with the good hair, and the fellow Stephen because
That's still out.
because you stay quiet for so long, but there's only so much one person can take. And you just went out, and then you started talking about calling trade schools, and you inspire people. So I respect you for that, my brother, and I respect you because as a lifetime Lakers fan, well, that is it until LeBron came.
Thank you, man. Thank you so much, my
So
brother.
respect to you, and if it's alright, maybe one night I can interview you from my channel. Dante, the same goes to you, because I need a sport brother to interview on my channel as well.
You got it, buddy. Whenever you
Yes,
ready,
sir.
Jose.
All right.
See,
All right. Yep, that's
you know what's going on?
Yeah, Seattle. Seahawks.
Seahawks,
Jose Rodriguez.
no time.
Oh
Man, that's amazing, man.
Yeah, my dad always told me, never stay quiet, always speak the truth, and that's what I'm doing with my channel. Yeah, no matter who hates it, trust me, there's a lot of people hate it, especially because I rock with, but it is what it is.
Gotta get you hated for sure.
Ask me if I give a fuck.
Yeah, they know you rock with the fam.
Yeah.
If I give a fuck.
That's what I'm talking about. Give me a mama's cooking one time. Say, mama's cooking.
Mama's cooking, bitch. What was that?
All right, good night, brother.
Mama's cooking, bitch. Shout out to self-talk. Shout out to self-talk.
Shout out to self-talk. That's what I'm talking about.
Hey,
Hey, you reach everybody. Yes, sir.
Hey, I shout you out every video I make. Self-talk. Everyone in the live chats that rocks with Cino. I rock at the people that fuck with me. So, yeah, it's the least I can do.
Yep.
Shout out
Thank
to Uncle Frank. And Dante, keep doing your thing.
Yep.
Man, but you're in LA, right?
I'm in Michigan right now, but yeah, I live in LA.
Hey, I live in Crenshaw. If you're ever around, just I'm gonna follow you on Instagram.
Right No, yeah, I'm trying to stay away from Crenshaw District though.
I don't blame you.
He said, I don't blame you.
He know what's going on.
But I know.
Man, this
I know a good restaurant in the Marina where we can have lunch.
Right
One
on,
day
I'm
if you're
riding
interested.
my bike in the Marina. Yeah, I'll meet you there in the Marina. Hit me up on my social.
I will.
Man, that's great.
All right. Thank
All
you.
right,
Man.
Much love, y'all.
Much
Yeah.
love.
Right on.
He done stole the show. Man, I went from about to cry to he was like, hey, mama cooking bitch.
Yeah, man. Okay, what's up? Oh, my man, yo, what's up?
What's up, brother?
Oh, there you go.
He got on the Lions hat too.
Yeah,
Exactly, man. I was talking to you about the Civitan, man. And Kwame, man, I've been trying to get you on your page, bro. The Aquamore. You see it all the time. AQUA, MUR.
Oh, yeah, that's probably. I wonder what that was.
Look, man, we making moves, man. I'm in Florida now. I ain't in Saginaw no more, bro. I got away from that. Dante, you know, I went to Long Street, Central Middle, Saginaw High. You know what I mean? The trap got me, man. But I got away, and guess what? I'm 4,000 square foot away from an acre, my dude. Your message, Kwame, you know what I mean? And then, like my son, you know, I had him in AAU. It's not like Michigan here. The coach mistreated him, you know what I'm saying? I brought all the kids' shoes for the team. They was the only team without matching uniforms. Brought them all shoes for my son to get mistreated. But they ain't breaking because, you know what I mean? I got them watching you, bro. You know what I mean? But we doing a thing on the real, man. You got to come mess with us without all them people, man, so you can see who's really doing this thing, bro.
Yes, sir.
Aquamore in the room. Aquamore. You see her name in the room? You type in the room, Aquamore, man. You need to talk to her. That's Gotti on real, man. She doing mad things, but you need to go to the Aquamore page and check it out, bro. She putting in work for you, bro. And Dante, we need to do something for Saginaw. Salute, bro. And Zeno, I like your matches, my dude. She came and got me and dragged me over, and she kidnapped me over here. Now I'm stuck with y'all, man. I'm 100. Yeah, but I'm from Saginaw, man. I got my own little landscaper, bro. And you know, Dante, houses in Saginaw, what, 20,000, 30,000? When you there, you can't afford that
That's
shit.
about 3 or 4.
I'm in Florida right now with a goddamn almost a $400,000 house with almost an acre of land, bro. So off the lawn service, people laugh at me. You know, I have a little lawnmower in the trunk, but they can't break a real hustler, bro. You know
Yes,
what I mean?
sir.
With you, Kwame, man. Remember,
Yes, sir.
That's what trades are for, because these are things that's gonna be needed forever.
That's what the Aquamore is all about. We got firemen, we got people who go around doing bumpers. We got the truck driver, you talk to him, be more. We got diesel mechanic for airplanes over there. You started a good group, man. Come mess with us, Kwame.
Okay. Man, look, trust me. Things behind the scenes been, you know, going a little round a little fast, but I'm working on getting that a little slowed down so I can focus on the work.
And you remember Bless One, they sitting on their nuts? That's my number one ace boom cool, man. She just got a new track for you. Check it out. It's on Aquamore, man.
Okay.
Yep. So, yeah, I thank y'all, man. Y'all doing a good job. Dante, keep doing it for Saginaw. Trojans.
Yes, sir. Right on.
Appreciate you, brother.
Appreciate
Yep, thank you.
Yes, sir.
Another guy just dropped off. I'm just gonna go to him too, man. But all right, Nick. The world's oldest 19-year-old. Let's go.
I'm 20 right now, but yeah.
You 19 got old.
Yeah. I just recently turned 20, but yeah. Yeah, man. But this is once again, man. This is a beautiful dog, babe. What more can I say, man? Kwame Brown. This is my first time seeing you, actually. You know what I'm saying? And Dante. So I guess you're the person that I've seen up and talking about these stories about basketball, man. You know, it's all the game, huh?
Yeah, I'm talking about the game. He's my big cousin, though. But everything that I was good at, he wasn't good at. Everything I wasn't good, he was good at, I wasn't. So it was a perfect connection. We became best friends as cousins, man. We did everything together.
Absolutely, just sharpen each other. That's all, you know.
Iron sharpen iron.
I wasn't gonna beat him in a math test.
Yeah, Yeah, man. But Dante, man, this is amazing what you're doing, and it shows that brothers like us are the salt of the earth. You know what I'm saying? We are God's children for real. You know what I'm saying? Seeing this out of STEM, that's incredible. That's beautiful. Oh God, man. And Kwame, I'm from Chicago, but I've been a Laker fan, since I started watching basketball, and I wanted to say this as well. I said this on another brother's channel, but I want to say this since I'm talking to you as well. Back when I was a little younger, I drunk Kool-Aid, thought man, Kwame Brown, he's a bust, and Kwame Brown, and all the crap that Stephen A. Smith put out, and as I grow older, I'm starting to become a little bit more knowledgeable about the game of basketball, seeing as how I play it, unfortunately, the Heavenly Father didn't bless me with the height I wanted because, but what I wanted to say is I truly apologize for misjudging the game, and not, doing research for myself when I was younger. And, I completely misjudged you. And most definitely, you got all my respect and for what you've been doing lately. And keep doing what you're doing, most definitely,
Yes,
and
sir.
God bless you, most certainly.
Yeah, I don't know. Also, this is why we call him the world's oldest 19-year-old. This dude,
Look, he rolled his eyes.
his soul is like from 1937. I don't know how a 19-year-old know as many old, like he in there listening to 8 tracks. He know every old song from the 5 heartbeats.
Smart man.
Where you know all these records from? He's like, that's the Dale. I'm like,
He used to clean up every weekend. He had to clean up.
at 19. That is a salute to his parents.
Yeah.
No doubt.
And keeping him like in line. That just goes to show you this is a product of mother and father right there educating their children, being in their household and being an influence on their lives. And you don't know what the kid takes from that.
Right.
You might not see it, but we see the results of it right now. We're talking to his parents right now through him.
No doubt.
Yeah. Plus, right now I'm in my college dorm right now. I'm in Northeastern Illinois University. I'm trying to doing 2 more semesters here and before I try to go to Columbia. For my to major in journalism because my love for writing also because I love basketball as well. Because a lot of guys on either ESPN, Undisputed, or even on NBA TV, even certain basketball players, they say certain things that a lot of brothers aren't really knowledgeable about the game of basketball. They depend on certain things like statistics and a stat sheet or whatnot. And that's like the cover of a book. It's not the entire story. You have to watch the game. You know what I'm saying? To really fully understand sorry, I'm kind of nervous. You know what I'm saying? My fault.
No, it's all good. I know exactly what you're saying. Just like Richard Hamilton would always tell me, like, he loved Ben Wallace. And I understood why they gave Ben Wallace the ball 3 times at the beginning of the game. It's just to get him excited because majority of the time, he's getting Richard Hamilton open. A guy that's a knockdown shooter if he get that much room. So Ben Wallace is just as important as Richard Hamilton. And that's what people don't understand. It's like a link on a chain. You take one link out of that chain, that whole bike no longer works. It doesn't go. Right. And that's what it is with basketball. It's not an individual game, it's a team game.
Yeah, that's why Andrew Bogut in the finals when he got lost and there's nobody there, like that's just for Andrew Bogut. I'm like, Andrew Bogut was setting all them screens. I'm like, they lost him for the finals. I was like, see, all of a sudden Tristan Thompson get about 30 points. And I'm like, did y'all not see that? And everybody talk about, oh man, they came back from 3-1. I'm like, yeah, but key people were out in certain games that allowed that to happen. So for most people, they don't remember it no more. Once it's gone, that's it. It's over. But I remember the situation. I knew how critical he was to that team. Both setting those picks, running screen, he knew where to be on there and where guys should be to get the ball. Like people don't understand boxing out, getting rebounds.
Yep. That was a team. LB had their boys playing, man.
Yeah.
Right.
That was a team right there, man.
Yep.
Yeah, straight up. Yeah, and just the points, seeing as how you got your Detroit Pistons gear on, Dennis Rodman when he came to Chicago.
Now I rep the Pistons doing the whole Bulls championship.
Yeah.
Imagine being in the city of Chicago.
Yeah.
I was not friends of Michael Jordan.
The family didn't like him, boy. I'm telling you, they ain't like him, boy. Not the family in Chicago. The family in Michigan, we loved him because he come in with his Isaiah Thomas jersey on. Oh yeah, he with us. Don't sit over here, cuz. He's sitting over here with the winners.
Yeah, that's right. Isaiah Thomas, still the greatest player that ever played the game. Still one of the smartest.
Ain't no argument for me on that game.
That man held every position in basketball. He is the first owner in NBA. They never talk about that with the Toronto Raptors.
They ain't gonna talk about it.
First owner. He wasn't just president. He was part owner of the Toronto Raptors.
I didn't know that.
Yes,
I thought MJ was the only black owner.
It was Isaiah with the Toronto Raptors, and he had the Rookie of the Year with his first draft pick, David Stoudemire. Everybody thought he should have drafted Ed O'Bannon.
Well, you know how the media do it. It can only be one, because I did not know that. How many people knew that?
Right.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, that's what it can only be one of us.
Yeah. Same thing with the school with what is his name from Detroit? Jalen Rose. His school is a real legit school. I didn't know about his school until you said something, Karcino.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it's a lot of players in the league that have charter schools.
Yeah.
They put out charter schools, but when LeBron did his school, that's a state school.
They trump everything.
Right, and the thing is that the city got to pay for that, but they control the athletic curriculums in there. And then the money, they dictate what money goes back to the community and what, when you're doing a charter school, that's 100% donation. So you get to control the athletic, like the educational programs. You get the whole, right, so you get the whole curriculum laid out for you, and you say, okay, this is what we need here. It's like higher education standards, grades, and he has like an over 80% graduation rate at his school. He had his first class a couple years ago, his first graduating class.
Yeah. And now everybody gets scholarships wherever you want to. I think all the scholarships to Akron, though. I think they might be different. But that started off as scholarships to Akron. But either way, if you help one kid, that's how you change the community. It's by helping one kid change one family, and that's how you change the community.
Yep. Yeah, definitely. I keep trying to get my man, keep falling out. So I'm gonna let you go, Nini. I'm gonna go ahead. We got another person here.
All right, man.
All right. April.
Hey, bro. That's my internet girlfriend.
Oh.
Cena, can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you.
We can't see you, though.
No, I'm not going to cam up. I only have one question. I super chatted that question, but I don't think it was seen. So I just want to ask it to Dante. That's all.
Okay, go ahead.
Dante, do you bus kids from Pontiac and Flint up there to Saginaw too, or no?
Not yet, but yeah, we'll be once we get our transportation and stuff situated. But yeah, we will be doing that. Right now, we're not doing that right now, but we are welcoming those students from Flint, Pontiac, and Detroit.
That's what I wanted to hear, because I think what you're doing is great, but I didn't know if it included Saginaw kids or kids from that area. I know that area, and I was wondering if they went up there too.
Yes, they're more than welcome up here. More than welcome. We would love to have them. Like I said earlier, we have over 125 kids registered right now, and we're going to leave the registration open through Saturday and get as many kids as we can.
Okie dokie. That's all I wanted to know. I'm sorry I won't cam up, but I just had the question. I just wanted to stay and talk. It was just the question I had. That's all. And
Well,
Mr. Kwame Brown. Mr. Kwame Brown. I might cam up later if I get on another panel. Just not this time, okay?
That's okay. You still my internet girlfriend.
Salute to you, sir, and salute to you, Mr. Karcino. Thank you so much for doing this. This is the type of panel that we need instead of all the nonsense. Do you know what I mean?
Yes, ma'am.
For sure.
That's Karcino, aka the black hole.
Oh my gosh, you all are funny. Okay, that's all I had. It was nice talking to you all. Have a good night.
All right.
Thank you.
Thank you. Oh yeah. Let me see. I'm gonna get my man because he been here the longest. He just kept getting knocked off. Is he there? Mr. Brian. Are you there?
Somebody talk about Kwame, that's Matt Barnes.
Thank you. What you doing? Just hung up. Everybody don't want to climb up.
People in the chat is funny as all the way.
That's cool.
All right, Joseph, you got it. Okay, let's have this go.
Joseph probably standing by that AT&T store I was at.
Steve B, what's up? Kansas City Giants. Sorry about
What's going on, man?
What's going on, Kwame? What's going on, Dante?
Chilling, brother.
Kwame, I'm starting with you, man. Like Nicholas, I was a victim when I was younger myself of getting caught up in the whole making fun of Kwame stuff, but I didn't know better. I was young. Looking back on it, I've gotten older, and I've looked back on some of your games and everything. I'm like, man, Kwame's actually good, man. He's just in a rough situation. Like, it's rough starting out your career playing with Michael Jordan and then have to go with Kobe Bryant. That's tough. You know what I mean? And like back then, I remember when he was selected as the first overall pick. He was the first high school to ever get drafted to the NBA, and like he wasn't getting hyped up like how LeBron and all these other cats in my high school was. Like I didn't really remember people like these analysts saying like this guy could be like the next David Robinson, for example. Like a great big man in the league, whatever. So I've always wanted to ask you this question, man. If that trade with Chicago did go down, how do you think your career would have turned out? Do you think you would have fared out better in Chicago if you had that opportunity instead?
Absolutely. I was already cool with Pete and a lot of the people that was in Chicago. So, I think it would have went better, but then you wouldn't have got mama's picking. And I'm one of the guys that believe that things happen for a reason. And, when I was a little kid, when I was about 4 or 5 years old, I always hung out with older people. And there was always older women used to tell me that I was going to be a pastor. But as I got older, I'm like, I can't be a pastor because I can't lie to the people. Like, there's certain things about me that won't let me be a pastor. But some pastors do the same thing that I'm talking about. But that's neither here nor there. But I just feel like everything that happened, I'm the perfect guy for this job. I've been picked on for 20 years. I have concrete skin. I understand what young boys go through. I understand how they bring up your past history and all this stuff. We got to get black folks to not joke so much. We got to get serious about something. And we got to stop allowing other people to joke on our greatest black males. And not to say greatest like, everybody else is not great. We all are great in our own right. But as soon as we get a black male on TV or anything else, they're up under more scrutiny than anybody I've ever seen, any other race. Ben Roethlisberger, I hate to keep bringing up the white counterparts, but Ben Roethlisberger has a sexual allegation one that was proven, 2 or 3 that was proven. And we don't hear about it anymore, but we got a young brother in Texas, I don't even want to say his name because they've said it so much. Right. He hasn't even been proven guilty of anything thus far, and we hear his name almost every other month, every other week. So it's like there's a system that they jump on a black male, and then us as blacks, we pile on the hardest. So we have to stop that. We have to look at it like that's my brother, and I'm not going to allow you to talk like that about my brother because white folks do that.
Yeah.
I appreciate the answer, man. And another thing, man, ever since I followed you, on your YouTube, when you came out and finally, told your side of the story, you know what I mean? After Matt Barnes and Steven Jackson and Gilbert, got their little jokes off, whatever. Since then, man, I appreciate what you've done for the community, recently with your shoe drive and just giving us wise lessons along the way, man, that we definitely need in our community, dog. Because
Yes, sir.
when you start to lose some of our recipes, man, we need to get our recipes back in our community.
Yeah.
I appreciate what you've been doing, man. Besides the entertainment and everything, but at the end of the day, bro, you've been on a great path. You keep going in the right direction, bro, and I'm gonna follow you on your journey, man. So I appreciate you, man.
Yes, sir. Thanks a lot, brother.
And also Dante, man, I appreciate what you're doing too, man. The STEM program and everything, man. We also need that in the community too. And like I just remember this too, like in regards to trades. Cause I remember, just about when I was about to be 21, whatever. I just got to high school. I remember mom was plugging in like, man, you should go get a trade. You should get a trade one day, just in case, or whatever. So I remember her just plugging it in my head, and I was trying to just kind of wish I look back on that, kind of wish I had done that, you know what I mean? But it's not too late, you know what I mean? So I'm on the right path right now as far as my man life, but journey's not over, you know what I mean? I can always do better, so and I'm continuing to do that. So I appreciate all you brothers for having this platform tonight, and I appreciate talking to everybody, man. Just keep doing what y'all do, man. Thank you.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Mark, what's up?
Yeah, hey, how y'all doing? Hey, listen, Kwame Brown. Listen, brother, I find myself, I've been following you for a while now, even from Facebook, right? And especially when you first came into the league. When Michael Jordan and them and that fucking redneck motherfucker Doug Collins did to you was wrong. But my problem, I have a bone to pick with you now today because let me first say this, right? I'm a 61-year-old man, and I met you before, and I got in trouble on your live, and I tried to apologize to you, first of all, because I went at one of your guests. Because I know you.
I remember your face.
Yeah, I remember your guests, too. But let me say this to you. Brother, Mama's Cooking is the best thing that I've heard since some of the things Colin Kaepernick said and some of the things Jesse Williams said on the BET Awards. To me, it's like as good as sliced bread to me, bro. But the thing now that's going on, you let this hoe ass nigga named Tommy the whore. I don't know whatever the fuck his name is. When I never liked this guy, but when he said the most diabolical thing out of his mouth to you about your mama who passed away, who gave you that Mama's Cooking and put you in a place where, brother, you are very intelligent, and I want you to win. But let me say this to you. If we're going to be winners in this world, we gotta stay true to what we say we are going to be true to. And I agree. No man should ever be able to tell another man what the fuck to do. Okay? But like you said, you got to watch the behavior of people. And for the last 5 days, brother, you've been going at this clown. You should leave this clown alone because he disrespected your mother not once but twice. And he should not get any attention from you. And the thing is, we as black people, we tend to gravitate to people who give us the best. And brother, I'm gonna say this to you, and a lot of people ain't gonna like this to me for saying this, but a lot of people, you are the hot potato right now. So you're gonna get all the motherfucking smoke from people that's ignorant and good people. Because I'm a good person. I don't care what nobody say. I wasn't always a good person. I've been out of trouble for 31 years of my life because God changed my mindset. And it made me a man. I wasn't always a man. I was going, you know how they say, as a child, you do childish things. When you become a man, you go to man and stay. But listen, please stop allowing these women who I care about and these men who I care about, human beings, that keep sending you these super chats if you love them for these fights you're putting on with this dude. This is the thing I'm not feeling, the behavior of that. And I apologize if you for not being sorry, because we, like I said, we as a people, we tend to gravitate to people that we love, and we'll give our heart and our soul and our money to these people, and they leave us with nothing, and then we're brokenhearted and sad and more depressed than when we came in. Brother, I trust you, and I've made some videos about you. I'm not a YouTuber, but when this stuff started, I had so much faith in you, man, and I believe in you, and I want to believe in you because I know you love God. I know God is in your heart, but we as people, we tend to make mistakes, and we're going to make more. I got to go to God every day and say, Lord, I did something today. I already know you see me. I want to apologize for that. And sometimes we got to do that too, man, because you don't want your mother's cooking to be known as something fucked up in the end, bro. Your legacy is not just basketball anymore. Your legacy is this YouTube thing too. And it's sad to say that it's niggas like Polite Hassan, Omar, and these other motherfuckers that's coming on these platforms and taking people's money and leaving these women and children brokenhearted. I salute you for the shoe drive, but let's do some more of it, brother. Let's not throw out accolades for yourself that God made you do. You can't. Look, people. I will never want to come on here and say what I did for God, because that's between me and God. You understand what I'm saying? And this, I don't have no. I'm gonna say this. Like I said, I made some videos about you. I don't have no thing against you, brother. I just want you to succeed, man. I want you to listen. I want that woman to leave you alone. Everybody's gonna make mistakes and call people out of their name when they angry. Okay? But this shit that Tommy did to you, bro, you should know right away. Leave that man the fuck alone. Stop saying his name and he'll die. Let him die. Because that's what he needs to do for that shit he said. That shit is ridiculous. And for somebody to go around taping other people's conversation, he's a dog right there already, bro. And
let me respond to you. Let me tell you why I say something back to him. It's because in our community, if you're gonna hold me accountable for the thing, even responding to him, then what does it say about our community that we go over there and we listen to him? This man sit here on the side of the road and offer up a black woman a fight, and then it's the same black women that saved his life that day in New York.
And so saw that other people see that too, Kwame. Trust me, people know what he's doing.
I understand, but this is what I'm saying.
You can't defend the world, Kwame.
No,
you got other mission to do. We got bigger fish to fry, bro.
But I'm not
dying, and it's straight.
All right, Mark, we're gonna get some other people in. You can still hear, but go ahead, finish.
See, that's the thing. We got so many people that try to tell you how to think, but the thing that we got to understand, what we're doing is, we as a black community, we reward dysfunction. We reward the street guy. We reward a guy who talked like Tommy. He called my mother a B word. He talks about women all the time. He says all these disrespectful things, and we, as a YouTube community, know him as the king of logic. This is supposed to be a logical man that people likes. So tell me where the through line in that behavior in real life. A man that will disrespect a man's mother like that, that's deceased. A man that will offer a fight to a woman on the side of the road. A man that will say, I got something in the car for you. And his only response when you call out the behavior is, you liked me before. Not knowing if you saw all of his videos. Since I've been on YouTube in 3 months or whatever, I have a lot of videos. He's been on YouTube for over 10 years. How can one person see all of his videos? So we got to start calling out the behavior. This man don't talk about trades and coding that I'm talking about. He's more into discrediting me as a man. And when I came to YouTube, I watched a lot of black men. What they do is they sit back and they poach off of each other. And I said, instead of me, there's going to be some things that Karcino say that I like. So instead of me like poaching off of him, taking it to my channel and pretending and trying to stand on somebody's shoulders, hey, use my videos, put your spin on it. I'll use them. We all have a good time. We get a good laugh, and we're building that way. The way they had it, there was a few gatekeepers. Tommy was one of them. And he sat there, and anybody that come to YouTube, oh, he's up under me. Oh, he said what I said. no one man came up with the English language. No one man has ever said something that somebody else is not going to repeat. That doesn't even make any sense. We all are supposed to share in this thing. And that's what people don't get. What I'm trying to do is to get people to understand that we're all sick. We like the drama. And so if we don't start realizing that, okay, and I say it all the time, I'm just having fun with this shit. We can have fun with the drama. But we got to build at the same time. And you notice what none of these men did. I issued a challenge. I said, let's have fun. Let's talk shit on the internet. But let's compete with each other with the work. And none of them step to the table.
Yep. All right, Larry.
Hey, Karcino, Dante, Kwame, man, what's up, man?
Salute to you, brother.
It's an honor to even talk to you guys. Dante, man, continue to keep doing what you're doing, man. I hope and I pray that your stems is just continue to keep on rising, man. Everything. I just pray that you continue to be successful with what you're doing. Kwame, for sure, man. Look here, I already know about you as a basketball player and everything like that, and that's I can sit here and tell you about your career and all that stuff. That's cool. What I really like with you and when you shot Karcino, and I'm getting to you just a minute, Karcino. I appreciate, man. You real, man. Like for the first time, this is my first time actually looking at YouTubers, and when I first saw the YouTube thing, I thought it was like joking about how people was talking about you and everything like that. But then just hearing what you're talking about everyday life and what men supposed to be like and what we need to do, and I mean that is inspirational to me. You know what I'm saying? And I hope it be inspirational to other men, that's looking at your YouTube and everything like that, man. It just I go out every day, man, at my job at the mall, showing the hall, man, and just I can teach somebody what I went through at that hall. And, if they want to learn, if they don't want to learn, still teach them anything.
I did this one, turned it down. I should have turned this one down.
Yep. And it's just about the next person.
But if you want to, just want to turn it off.
At that hall every day,
turn it on
because I'm gonna lose it at some point, So it's gonna be for the next person, and so on and so on. And we got to teach these guys that, and women that too as well.
Yeah. My brother is a longshoreman, so I salute my brother. Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Man, like I said, it's for us, man. It's a blessing, man. I mean, we can do what we want, and we get the money we deserve, man. In Savannah, it's
that's where he at. You in Savannah?
Yeah, yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah, he does the port in Brunswick, and now he's going to the one in Savannah as well.
Yeah, I mean, we getting the ships, man. They are.
So, man, can you elaborate a little more on that and kind of? I don't want you to tell people what you make, but kind of tell people is that not a career that you can actually walk up a wreck like a man and take care of your family?
So that way.
Man, again, the job is I don't have to explain it.
Yeah.
But you got to put in the work. Like, you got to put in the work because you got to earn it. Some people get it the fucked up way, but it's changing now because it's not going to be like it was before. I mean, they need us now. They need people back there, but now it is lonely every day and every night, and it's a blessing, man. The Lord bless us, and it's such a blessing.
Told about the medicine too.
Again, Kwame, man, I appreciate you, man. I do, man. You shout out Karcino in your video. When I started looking at your videos more, I follow Karcino, and Karcino, man, like you are a blessing as well, man, because you do the same thing that Kwame does, man. You tell us real stuff. It's about just people telling the truth, man. Tired of hearing, I used to follow Dr. Boys and all that good talk. It got me, you know what I'm saying? I mean, it's just.
Yeah, he got good talk. Carcino got the receipts, boy. Lord have mercy.
But when you expose them, man, with that shit blew me, man, because it's like, once again, man, somebody that's black saying all this good stuff that you want to hear, you believe in them, man. And it's like, man, it's like, okay, that's cool, but then here come the money and all that shit. Man, nobody want to get that shit, man.
Yeah.
So, man, Karcino,
you think it's food they giving you, but it's cotton candy. Cotton candy free.
Look at Karcino, man. Look at I love the Lakers, man. I was on the Bryant fan, but Karcino, you was so absolutely right about LeBron. When this man came to the team, I already knew what time it was trash after that. I don't even watch the Lakers no more, man. I mean, until he got the team, it's over with.
Oh, they loaded this year though.
They called me yesterday. I'm about to sign with the Lakers.
They getting everybody, boy. Lord,
Because you better than LeBron.
they getting every shooter in the league now, boy. Lord,
but it just shows, man, that you don't have to have all those superstars, man. The man,
I wasn't
seen
getting.
it
Oh
from
yeah.
the bus, man. Like, and
The ice stopped coming down on me.
But Karcino, man, I
What's to
appreciate
do
you,
about
man,
that?
because Kwame shouted you out. I followed you. I was like,
I did it twice. Oh, fast. Oh, because I did it twice. Moved the ice around. She wanted some crushed ice. I'm also half a cup. Then some big ones came out. Then it stopped. Period. Nothing. But I gotta gonna see if I got that picture
better than somebody and how much money
of the thing on the
it don't
phone.
matter, but it's just about the next person. That's all, man.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But man, again, y'all too, man. Y'all
get to come out.
But don't forget about this brother right here. This brother he's gonna be what tie everything in together because he actually has the skill with the STEM and all that stuff, the engineering. That's the stuff that, man, me and Karcino, we ain't just talking, we bringing awareness, but this brother right here actually has the skill, like I said, to show these kids, which feeds kids for generations. And that's what's important. I can't wait to talk behind the scenes.
Of course. Kwame, I appreciate you, man. Shout out to Shanita, man. She turned me on to this YouTube stuff because I used to never look at this, man. And I mean, just like I said, when you two guys come on, man, I got y'all subscribed. They come on my cell phone, notification, all that. And I be sure y'all tune in every time, man. Y'all getting this positive, not just myself, but for everybody, man. And I appreciate you guys. I thank God for you guys. I really do, man.
Thank you, brother.
Thank you.
Shout out to you, brother.
Thank you,
sir. Yeah, I stopped calling all black men anything else other than kings. Because I mean, like we was talking about earlier, the power of that time. If they know they kings, they act different.
Right.
Yeah. You respond different. You move different when you're a king. You looking at building your kingdom as opposed to how to destroy your kingdom.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and to everybody in the chat, nobody attacked Mark J. Everybody, that was just his words of opinion. We just trying to get everybody in time. You know, his question was very long, so Kwame was answering it. We just gave him time to answer it, then we went on to the next one, but we ain't cut him off. So I just want y'all to understand that that's just how he felt. You know, everybody thinks differently. That's his opinion.
Right.
Everybody here can have an opinion.
Right. I'm not mad.
We should all think alike. If we all think alike, then we wouldn't be different. God made us all different for a reason. We all think alike for a reason. I don't want nobody.
Yeah, they done made the world so sensitive that we better think alike, or we insert our opinion as fact. Like that's what's messing us up. We can't insert our opinion as fact.
Right.
Yeah.
What's up, brother?
Good night. It's a pleasure to talk to you, brothers. God bless. I've been a fan of Karcino for so long. And Brother Dante, I appreciate what you're doing for the community, especially. My father was also into agriculture science, so I connect with what Kwame is saying. As well, I'd like to say that just being able to see Kwame, Karcino, and Brother Dante in the same room speaking positive it's amazing because we've been dealing with the storm with what's happening with the whole beef situations and Thomas Lamar and Hassan Campbell. Sometimes that gets overwhelming. I won't front, but at the same time, it's necessary because we have to get rid of that negative energy. Because sometimes that causes things to shift. And you know what, Kwame, you made a point that you don't call these brothers out unless they call you out. And I totally respect that. And at the same time, as I said, sometimes it's necessary. If they want to play with fire, you have to get rid of it. And you know, this is what I gotta say as well. I appreciate the interviews you did with Angela Stanton King. The 2 interviews you did, and also those interviews you did with Judge Joe Brown. Mm-hmm. Those were huge interviews. I feel that they were necessary for our community. And it brought us to an awakening, sort of, because we're so used to hearing, as you said, the go around, get around gang, the Charlemagne's, the whatever else, just spitting out fumes of things that are supposed to be intellect, but it's not. Mm-hmm. You know, it's just it's garbage knowledge that we can get from anything. We can hear it, like the new music we hear nowadays. It's just preaching to us, sort of, the quick solution. But we don't need the quick solution. Right now, we need solutions that will help our community, help our families, and help us to stay together as people. And, you know, this is just a quick salute. And, you know, God bless everybody here. Karcino, God bless you, brother. And, you know, Kwame, as I said, it's a pleasure to speak to you as well. And Brother Dante, keep doing what you got to do. And I appreciate what was going on with the food drives, especially, and I think we need more education of food drives as well. We need to help the people, especially during this time of COVID-19 and all the craziness that's going on as well. Brother Kwame, I think you should speak about the vaccines more. I think when you spoke about what was happening in New York, you only spoke about it for about 25 minutes or so. But I think that's very necessary, especially like our freedoms are being tested, and that line you said about they don't let the fox into the hen house. Like, that's the biggest line I've always heard, and it's the truth of the matter. And I think that our freedoms are being taken away. To tell you the truth, I'm not American. I'm from Toronto. But as I said, God bless you guys. I appreciate you, and I'm gonna let someone else pop in here, and you know, so we can speak the truth.
All right. Thank you, brother.
Thank you. Appreciate you, bro. You spoke it right there. With people ready to be entertained and educated.
Yeah.
Just entertain me and make your life easy for me. Don't educate me. Don't challenge me to grow.
Yeah. But just think about it. If everybody was growing their own food, like we so money oriented now. Just think about if everybody was focused on being able to have skills and do. Think about the guy that knows how to build his own house, but then he buys his own land. He don't need as much money if he can build his own, you know, house. If a guy has his own farm and he has his own chickens, he don't need as much money to feed himself. And that's what the elders taught us. They didn't focus on going to buy cars and all this. They had skills, so whatever money they made, they was able to use towards what they need. We've gotten so fat and so greedy that we got so much stuff that we just go buy whatever we need. We got to get back to the elders' skills.
And don't forget to, for the program that's coming up this Saturday in Saginaw, it's August 28th. It's free for kids. You can support the page. You can show up in person, or you can go to the website. You can go to the Instagram. They have a donate button. You can support. You can donate there as well. So I want to make sure it's going to happen. A program should come at least once a month. But whatever you can, any way you can support or help is definitely all welcome. Because it's we the people. So that's
right.
Yo, we got
I almost cursed that you said we the people. I was about to say damn right.
Well, let's Jay, man, you at work. I saw you in the background working. I'll come back to you.
Yeah, appreciate it, man. Appreciate it. You know, I've been following you for some time now. You know, you got a bunch of names. You know, the people that know, they know you by Mag, they know you by Kev. You know, so you've been doing it. Kwame, first of all, shout out to you, man. Appreciate you for everything, you know, you've been doing as of late. We might be cousins. I don't know. I got a lot of family in South Carolina.
That's what's
and,
up.
You know, some of them are geeky, some don't want to claim geeky, you know what I'm saying? But everybody, you know, your color, Viola Davis color, you know, Luke Cage. Everybody look like Luke Cage, Viola Davis, and you. So, you know what I'm saying? So we might be family somewhere. But yeah, I'm glad you linked up with Cino. He's the truth. He is the truth.
That's a black hole.
Stick to him.
I knew he don't do that. I knew it was coming.
Hey, you gotta get a shirt that says the black hole with you.
He ain't never lied. His Patreon is the truth. Y'all need to subscribe to the Patreon. It's worth his weight in gold, and that's something he's been talking about, the go along, get along game from jump. All these people that they put in front of us, they all connected, they all on code, and they do whatever they can to make sure they stay in line. And I'll say question everybody you see on TV, question the whole media, question all of it. Do your own research, form your own opinion. The worst thing they want us to do is to think for self. You know what I'm saying? And if you don't have knowledge of self, you're gonna be lost out here. So, you know, Cino been a champion of that on all aspects, from LeBron is a fraud to, you know, watch out for these people. You know what I'm saying? So it is what it is. Dante, I do have a question for you. With the STEM programs and everything, I'm in the DC, Maryland, Virginia area, aka the DMV. Do you have any connections on STEM programs for the youth out here?
Connections, yes. I'm a little bit a ways away from expanding to other states right now. I just want to make sure that I have it working and improve. We call it a proof of concept right now that I'm going through right now. So I'll prove it here, and I'll prove it works here, and then I'm able to expand. But yes, we definitely want to get to DMV in that urban area for sure.
Right. Yeah, you know, my son, you know, he's 12, you know what I'm saying? So he's into, you know, STEM, everything basically, you know, doing coding, you know, trying to basically change his skins on Minecraft and stuff like that. But he actually wants to be an engineer. So, you know, I'm glad that, you know, Cino actually put you on here. You know, I've heard about, you know, him learning to play basketball from you, you know, and your brothers and everything, you know, for years. Trust me. Another recommendation for Karcino, everybody go back to the truth behind it and watch all the videos. Like, if you new to Karcino, start there and then work your way up. Trust me, it's worth. A lot of it is free, but the most detailed stuff, like, go to the Patreon. Subscribe to the Patreon. It's a budget for everybody. You got $3 sign up. You got $5 sign up. I'm a VIP member. You know what I'm saying? I'm in the exclusive club. I get all the information. Right. So, but y'all definitely need to do that. Yeah, I'm at work. It's a black-owned business. So I'm a shout out to black-owned business in the DC, Maryland, Virginia area. It's called OCD Cleaning Services in Greater Washington. So if you have any places of business that, you know, want to contract out to a black-owned business to have it cleaned, you know, I know we're dealing with COVID and everything, so, you know, we basically, you know, clean it very extensively. And this is my part-time job. It's a family-owned business. This is my part-time job. I do IT as well. So trying to, you know, give my son and, you know, both my kids, I got a daughter too, give her, you know, all the necessary tools they need to succeed. So this is the family business, but I got the day job as well. So, yeah, Kwame, like I said, stick with, you know, y'all officially family now. The fact that you know Dante and I've known him this whole time, really had no connection to Cino at all. So he ain't never lied.
If he know my cousin Top Dog, he know everything he needed to know.
That's it. You ain't gotta say nothing else. You ain't gotta say nothing else. But yeah, man, I ain't gonna hold you. I just want to say that, like I said, you know, you the homie. You already know that I support you on everything. Everybody needs to do the same. He is one of the truth tellers. The things I like about y'all two the most, and I respect about y'all the most, is that y'all are not trying to be bigger than the message. The message is the most important thing. All y'all trying to do is connect to the people, get them the truth, and stick to that. So appreciate you. I want to shout out the whole Cino gang. I'm saying, you're right, Nicholas Jacobs is the oldest 19-year-old in the world. Like, that ain't a falsity. Jose, the homie, you know, he's been doing his thing. HD got a channel. Go follow HD. Y'all need to get self-talk on here too. Like, for his name.
No. We don't want no self-talk.
Self-talk, you don't talk. Like, for his name to be self-talk, you don't talk. But
yeah, we don't want him to talk.
I got something for your son though. We're gonna have some virtual events that he can log on to, and we'll mail him a kit. we'll mail him a kid, one of the STEM kids, and have him participate. We're going to be doing that a lot, actually, some of the virtual stuff.
Yeah,
Okay,
so right now
cool.
we get ready to end the live version, then we're gonna go into the back door, you know. So then the rest of that'll be on Patreon.
Y'all need to sign up to the Patreon. The Patreon used to be lit like OnlyFans too, but you know some changes that happened. But you know, it is what it is.
We already hit them. That's why I didn't go to OnlyFans.
I got you.
I got vision.
Hey, who is this person right here? They said that I was running from Siren Campbell.
What?
Oh.
How could you run from somebody that big?
Oh, right.
He's big, chunky, and slow. You know, so you got it. You know what I'm saying? Plus, he's like a whole, 2 feet taller than him? Come on, man.
I guess they tried to get me on the line. What is she going to pay me about?
Oh, man. It's awesome. Get him. Oh, my God.
Oh, yeah. Shout out to Frank the real one, too. You know.
Uncle Frank, yeah.
Yeah,
right.
Frank.
He probably waiting for it to end before Uncle Frank show up.
Yeah, because, you already know how Frank is. So.
That channel.
Right.
So thanks, man, for coming through. Thank everybody.
No problem.
And don't forget the Saginaw STEM on Instagram. You can go there. You can click the link. You can go there. You can donate. Or you can show up if you're near Saginaw. Children is free. Anything else you want to say, Dante?
He gone.
I saw the thing up there. Yeah, it just looked like.
There you go.
Okay. I had pushed mute and I had to check some things on my laptop. My boss was calling. I still got a real job. I still got an engineering job right now, so I can't be promoting STEM to kids, and I ain't no engineer no more. So I took this engineering job so I can look better to my kids.
Understandable.
Yeah. So, is there anything else you want to say about the program before we close it out for the public, but we go back to it?
SaginawSTEM.org. That's about it. Saginaw STEM on all the social medias. Like our pages, donate, volunteer, all that kind of stuff. We need it. We all we got, and this program is going to be whatever we make it. It ain't about Dante. I don't even have any kids. I came back to help all the other kids in Saginaw. I don't have kids. However, I know the importance of community and the importance of empowerment and the importance of opportunity. And I know for a fact I can help one kid. And so if I can help one, I can get my friends and other colleagues and other people, businesses to help another kid. So I just want to give back. That's all it takes is a little bit. Just a little bit of work from everybody.
Okay, I can volunteer on Piston Education. So, Detroit Piston Education. I'll be right there. We were the first team ever to have a play. We paid for it.
Yes,
Round ball one. Everybody else was on the bus. Been flying commercial. We was flying a whole plane.
Yes,
I'll sign up for that.
Hey, look, when Isaiah was working for the Knicks, all I had to say, man, he ain't do nothing they said he was doing. He drafted them people. You know what I'm saying? He did good.
In the roster of
exactly.
the Knicks before Isaiah got there.
Mm-hmm.
We got Stephon Marbury. You had Jamal Crawford. You had Eddie Curry. He got on the team. He had Zebo. He had everybody in the world. He had Penny Hardaway. He grabbed all the players he could to try to make it work.
He drafted Nate.
Yeah.
Yep, Nate Dogg.
Yeah, Nate Dogg. So, yeah, he did a lot, but it's always going to be that fun. Everybody, Larry Bird came in and did nothing in there. Isaiah Thomas built that team. He the one that got Jermaine O'Neal. He the one that did the trade to bring in Ron Artest and Brian Miller and Rob Mercer.
It ain't no different than Mark Jackson built that team too. And then,
I was there for that.
They wasn't playing no D. They wasn't doing nothing. Mark Jackson did that.
Yep.
Yeah, they just had the team to Steve Kerr.
It seemed like they got mad at Mark Jackson if you ask me that he was praying
because of his church stuff.
Yeah, he's praying in the locker room. Yeah.
Because it was really that is because of what he said about the Skittles crew. That's what we call them. There's one comment he said about the Skittles crew, and all he said is, well, I pray for them. And when your general manager is a member of the Skittles crew, you know what's going to happen.
Yeah. But he was instrumental in Klay Thompson. I remember playing with him, Klay Thompson, his rookie year. He was getting down on himself. He didn't come in and lighten it up and just making threes. Mark Jackson would work with him. Mark Jackson would get out there and shoot. He still could shoot.
Draymond too.
Yeah.
Draymond wasn't starting.
Yeah, he could shoot with everybody. Like, that dude, he a real dude.
Yeah, that's our cousin-in-law, Draymond.
Oh, yeah?
Okay. I'm working on him, getting him in the program too. I talked to him a few times. He loved the idea. Just haven't had time yet to really discuss it and how he can impact it. And what I'm trying to do is like maybe a Draymond Green scholarship, and we pay for a kid to go to Michigan State or something similar to that. Mm-hmm. So like I said, I go to people. I don't need nobody for me. I'm good. But these kids need help. So you don't even got to pay for a kid to go to college. Just help. Do something.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's all. That's all it takes is a little bit.
A little bit.
Yep. All right, we're going to stop this version here. Thank everybody for coming on. Thanks, Kwame, because you just went live and still came in and did another tour.
I did 7 hours the other night.
Like, my goodness.
Kwame the man, man. Kwame, you the man, dog. And you ain't.
If a man doesn't want to be the boss, then he's not a real man. Every real man wants to be a boss. Who do the girls like? The boss. So everyone that has girlfriends, they're going to keep their girls away from the boss because he's the most appealing, right?
Is that one of the reasons you've had a lot of problems with?
I don't know why. I've always been the boss. I don't know. Those are not problems for me. When men don't want to be around, that's better for me. I run into the women other places. But you know, like when a woman talks bad, when a man talks bad about another dude in front of a woman, that's because he's afraid that the woman likes the other dude. So the more men or women or men talk about me to their women, the more the women come to me. I love it. So to me, that's the good guy. It's all about perspective. I'm the good guy. Have I ever been the bad guy at home? That's what I'm saying. I've never been the bad guy. No, I'm always, you know, like if you at war, you're the bad guy that people fighting. Whoever looks at me as a bad guy, they're on the wrong end. They're on the wrong team. If you're not honorable, if you don't play things fair, yeah, you better watch the stuff because I'm protecting love. You see what I do when I got the black balls. I give it the platform to my friends, and I always have. While I haven't been around, a lot of people got fat, but all my friends are starving, or the people that I left out there. Everyone's starving. A couple of people are fat. We're taking it back so everybody can eat. Movies, radio, books, everything, fashion, everything. And when we have it, no one's going to have a boss. Everyone's going to be a boss, period.
Are there times in business you feel like you haven't been honorable and fair?
Never.
That you can, I mean, people do make mistakes because
I've never not been honorable in business. Y'all keep telling me, every time I hear me not being honorable in business, it's from a radio show where men talk about men. It's never been from that man telling me in my face he has an issue with it. It's not a claim. It's never been no social media. How can a man say social media with a straight face? Men don't listen to social media. No, men don't listen to social media. A real man doesn't listen to a rumor. Let me ask you a question. Real calm. Does a real man listen to what another man says about another man? Yes or no?
I mean, you listen. It's up to you to take it in.
Right then. So you have no questions to ask me. I don't give a
But this is
I don't give a fuck about the radio business. I don't give a fuck about nothing. He doesn't want to do that. That's not what I'm saying.
Usually it's over money that people.
No, don't be over no money. If it was over money, how much money? Which money? It's all relevant.
Baby dash going off on the Breakfast Club.
It's money.
Not to me.
But you can't do.
Not to me.
It is money though.
It's not to me.
Fuck the radio.
I can't shoot $100,000. My bills are way more than $100,000.
I forget all that money talk.
I'm asking you a question. I'm trying to prove a point here so you can have a clarity of what y'all should be worried about.
So you're saying it's not relative based on who you are, but money. Because $100,000.
That's not what I asked you. I asked you, is $100,000 not to me? It's relative.
So let me ask you a question. Would you disrespect me for $100,000? No. It's not worth disrespecting. It's not worth going to take your friend to court. It's not worth going to a radio station and talking about business. What's worth that kind? What's worth a real man talking about his business on the radio between another man? What's worth that? Let me ask you, you're the radio. How much money?
No. I don't need the money.
Exactly. Exactly. So when a man comes on the radio and talks about money and he don't talk about me, I know that's not the issue. But if it was really about money, he called me. He wouldn't call you. I mean, he know I'm not listening to you. I'm gonna listen to you ask me questions about another man's money. A real man don't answer those questions. A real man don't answer.
Let's talk about you. You feel like you get your props as a mogul?
I don't care.
I know that's right.
I take my props. About props, I can't. I do get my props. I'm not a mogul. I'm a tycoon. I sell oil. Don't disrespect me and say I do everything everybody else does. And I put up my own money. All these so-called moguls y'all talking about, you name one of them that put their own dough up. A boss, you're only the boss if you put up your own money. If you don't put up your own money, I don't care how much somebody gives you. You're nothing but a supervisor. It's not yours. So how much money can you get paid to not? There's no money in this world for someone to pay me so they can call me, so I can call them a boss. That's like calling somebody daddy. How can a man call another man? That's my boss. You don't do that.
I mean, everybody at some point has to have a boss, right?
No, not in Harlem. Oh, okay. But like this.
So you're somebody's boss.
No, I'm not somebody's boss. Like when I was in the street, someone wasn't your boss. They gave you an opportunity.
Okay.
They gave you some work. You go make it, and then you bring it back. You can go buy your own work and do whatever you want. It's called consignment.
So why this can't be all work? This corporate America, we can be.
You don't own it. I'm telling you. No, I'm telling you why. I'm telling you why. Question. Let me ask you a question. Can you give it to your son?
How you want to my son? Whatever shares in this company, I absolutely positively can.
How?
Not because I own shares in this company.
Bought it?
Yes.
What I'm saying is, can your son eat? Is this yours to give the whole company to you?
Company is
I'm
not
asking.
my no,
Exactly.
It's not mine.
Wait, stop. Listen. That's not my question. If your son needs a job here, can you give it to him?
No.
If your son needs to get some money out the bank from here, some cash flow, can you get it?
No.
All right. You don't own it.
But I can take the money from here and invest in myself.
No, it's not yours. I'm not going to fight for something I don't own. Men don't do that. I don't fight for others. I fight for me. I'm not a doula. I'm not going to build somebody else's company and then take shares of my son. No, listen. What I'm saying.
But what about taking the money?
You come to work every day.
From Def Jam.
Stop. Don't say this. You speak my business and you don't know what you're talking about.
I know that's
I take no money from Def Jam. What you talking about?
They cut you a check.
No, they didn't cut me a check. We had a formula based on performance. And they calculated it and we got paid. And they don't stop. That's not us.
That's what we
No. We listen. Before we had Rockefeller. We put up our own money. Right?
Okay.
Then we sold half of it. That means no one gave us any. We were 50-50 partners. We built something and sold it. That doesn't mean you work for somebody. They let you believe that. So then what happened was based on a formula. You know what a formula is? It was profit times a certain number. So if you make this much profit times 7, that's how much you remember.
Okay.
Based on that formula, they bought the rest. That's it. That's not nobody giving me money. I never worked for them. I put up way more money than Def Jam put up. Me, Biggs, and Jake put way more money up into Def Jam. Rather into Rockefeller than Def Jam. All they did was collect our money. What you mean? Why you think Def Jam? First of all, when we were with Def Jam, they were bought by Universal. How you gonna call Def? How you gonna think of someone that's bought by someone to be someone's boss? That's my point. You have to understand what you're doing in business because you got to do what's best for your kids. What's best for your kids is to put your money into something. You're stressed, go through all of it. So when your child becomes a man, he doesn't have to work for nobody.
Right, well, that's the
you
whole
can
thing.
just pass it to him.
Now you talk about
So if you want to work 20 years in a business or 15 years in a business every day over and over again, and your son can't work here whenever he feel like it, you clowning me. But that's not saying you if you own it. Wait a second. Time out. That's stupid. You should be time out. No. Wrong. I like to check. Wait, time out. You're lying. Before you lose your control, just stay focused. So here, listen to me. So why don't you listen? Who could work? Would you ever enjoy being a slave?
It's not a slave. This is what I enjoy.
This is slavery, man.
Do you have to come to work today? Do you have a choice? Do you have to ask somebody when you have to? Yes, you do. Or you're fired. Can somebody tell you you're fired? Can somebody tell you you're fired? Yes or no? Can another man say you're fired?
Absolutely.
No one can tell me that. That's priceless.
But I'm here because
I don't care. You enjoy having a man being able to
okay, let me
ask you a question. So you being selfish. Do you think your son enjoys you calling somebody else a boss? Don't you think your son would rather wake up with you and you can pick him up from school instead of having to do a 9 to 5? Don't you think? Yeah, but you have to wake up at 4 in the morning. Don't you think your son would love if his name was up there, Dash, or whatever your last name is, instead of somebody else's? My pride is in my children. Like, look what I'm doing right now. Look at my son. I taught my son never to have a boss. He's 23. He owns a restaurant. He has cookies. He has equity. He busts his ass so he can pass it on to his son. If that's not what you hustlers for, you're selfish. You keep saying I'm worried about my kids. You worried about you.
My kids are good.
How they good? Your kids will work on the kids.
I feel like I'm in a Def Jam boardroom and backstage.
The kids, they're not supposed to work. I'm saying when they're men, you're supposed to pass them something. You working for another man.
They're worried about
See, to me, this is what you're talking. See the other
questions? I feel like I'm in Def Jam boardroom. It's not backstage. Everybody cool out for a second. But then I'll ask this question. That's your business now. What's wrong with taking the money from here and investing it into other stuff that we own?
Nothing.
Everybody eat a cookie. Cool out for a second.
I'm not mad, but mentality is frustrating because you're on the radio and this message is crazy. You're saying because you enjoy music or being a DJ, you enjoy having a boss. If you enjoy being a DJ, just why don't you own your own radio station and a DJ for your own radio station so your son can just get on anytime he wants? That's all I'm saying.
But it's steps to it.
There's no steps to it because I do it. See, you enjoy the safety and the security of a job and everything, but there's no pride in that. My son takes pride. My kids take pride in the fact that I have Dash Motors. And because I have that, my son said, I'm not going to ever have a boss. The mentality is different. It's just about changing mentality.
Now, let me ask you a question. There's millions of people out there that don't have that opportunity and
they all have the opportunity.
A boss every day. So you basically saying because they have a boss, there's no pride in it?
I think because people on the radio tell people it's okay to have a boss, they don't understand that they can have more. And because of direct consumer relationship and internet, there's no excuse. So when I make a movie like Losada's, I don't have to ask if I could put Daniel. I just do it. I had to ask if I could put. I had to ask if I could put camera on. I don't have to ask for it. You understand? There's pride in it. It's just a pride you should have in ownership.
So how do you get to that platform? How do you get to the platform?
By putting your own money up and investing in yourself. That's it. You flip. And getting a good woman. Stop trusting dudes. Stop worrying about other people's pockets and what other people have and what other people can do for you. And 9 to 5s aren't good because you hustling for weekend. But when you can do something that's for yourself and your family, it never feels like home. I hustle for my last name. I don't hustle for my first. The Dash name, when my grandfather died, he looked at me and he knew that Dash is always going to be there, at least for a couple generations. My son, or my son's. It's a mentality. I want to have generations of it. What if your kids aren't strong? What if your kids aren't strong? Then what?
And that's the reason why we set up the platform so they don't have to do anything.
But you know what else is interesting?
How can a man say he has a boss and be proud?
Well, let's hear what Murder Mook has to say. He wanted to say something. He wanted to say something.
Different mentality.
I want to say something real quick. I think with Dash, like, you say you should never worry about a man's pockets, bro. I vividly remember you clowning people for being broke.
No. I never clown someone for being broke. I'm clowning them for not spending money.
You clown people for that.
I know. You never heard me say, I was talking about tell me a joke you heard where I said you broke.
I've been in the office before.
Tell me, recite one.
Sneakers,
right?
And their clothes and say,
you know how many rich people buy wax sneakers? I just cut Kevin Hart up because he wore Uggs. He's a millionaire. That's what I'm telling you. It's not about money. You can't buy taste. All right, so I snap on people who have a bad taste. It's not about money. So your approach is different. Your perspective, you see things for a different lens.
What was the popping tags thing? When we started?
Because I used to pop tags. You know what happened was every time I went to the gym, I bought new clothes when I came to the gym. So every time I finished, it would be a pile of tags. So I'd be like, look, I'm popping tags. That's all. That's the problem. Why are you offended? Why was the snapping? No, it's about we have a different taste level. You like a boss, I don't.
It's not a matter of having a boss.
Yes, it is. In my matter, it doesn't matter to you. In me, it does. I don't. Investment. You don't own nothing. Investment. You sound smart to somebody dumb. What I'm saying is you got a boss. You have a boss. What are y'all talking about? Do me a favor though. In the mix of this conversation, don't tell me I sound stupid because now you disrespecting me.
No, you telling me I sound stupid.
Okay, did I say you're stupid? If I did, I'm sorry. But did I say you sound stupid?
Yes.
Sorry about
Now, what you saying?
All I wanted to say was that since, because I heard somebody mention social media or something like that, but since the emergence of kind of like a lot of the direct to consumer platforms like Instagram and Twitter, we start to see a lot of entrepreneurial people out there and a lot of businesses, you know what I mean, started from the ground level. We see more and more people, you know, making money off Instagram, off
you don't have to sell gossip anymore. You can do different things.
Could you have gotten to the point?
How do you feel? Let me ask you a question. How do you feel about the fact that you sell gossip for a living? Like you sell gossip, you're a man. How do men sell gossip? That's for women. Y'all talk about what other people say. Every day y'all talking about what you heard. That's gossip. That's women do that, man. That's what women do. I don't listen to your show. I don't want to hear about gossip. I be asleep. I'm a boss. I wake up when I want. I don't be up that early.
I mean, I think there's a variety. There's a variety of things that we talk about.
You talk about what you told to talk about. You got a boss.
No, we have to come up with our own
You
stuff.
get told what to do.
No, we definitely don't.
Your boss tells you what to do. If I'm a boss, I tell whoever I do that. Your boss, you lying. What's your boss name? What's your boss name?
Which one?
Oh my God. You proud to say which one?
Yeah, we're on 50.
I mean, it's not your market. You don't own it.
Yeah,
but honestly, if they told me to talk about them, you wouldn't be here. The people here that's like,
I get ready to talk that. No one never said that.
Serious.
Your boss said that?
Yeah, they say
pull them out.
They say you used to work
here. Pull them out.
Nobody likes to work with you.
Pull them out. Who
here.
said it? I'm not gonna say it. You gossiping. That's chatty. Don't tell me nothing unless you're gonna call somebody out or shoot. That's a girl.
I'm just telling you.
Nah, I don't listen. Men that to me, right? Because I have testosterone, I got nuts. I don't listen to other men's gossip. And a man that gossips to me don't have nuts. That means he has a vagina.
I got it because I'm telling you what
gossip.
they said.
Tell me who said it.
That's irrelevant.
Nah, then you see where I'm from. You don't do that. If you want to deliver a message, I don't want to hear that. It's you lying. Lying. Call out a name or you lying. Call out a name. Be a man and call out a name, or you gossiping, or you chatty patty.
I'm gossiping.
I'm chatty patty.
I'm chatty patty.
No chatty patty questions for me. Ask me a real question. Don't tell me what somebody else said.
What's the movie, man?
The movie's No Siders. You get it at NoSidersMovie.com. I directed it. Daniel's in it. Smoke Diz is in it. Murder Mook's in it. It's very realistic. I'm very proud of what I've done. Yeah, let's take it off before. There is one thing I'm going to bring up that disappointed me. So I do think we should all stick together.
Even you and me?
Definitely. Whatever you need, culturally. You know, a man is always entitled to have a different perspective.
Okay.
Me and Daniel not arguing. We're talking about perspective. Loud.
Same.
I hate to talk to you on the phone, man. Yeah, okay.
But whenever you can get positive advice, you got to take it. You know what I mean? So it might be hard. You might not want to deal with the controversial conversation, but if it's beneficial and you can learn from it and it elevates you, why not? You know what I mean?
Absolutely. I listen to everything.
Yeah.
You might not like it, but you know, listen.
Again, a man's allowed to have a respect. That's why I said you were stupid. That's why I said sorry. I have the right to disrespect you. I didn't like the way it felt when you said being stupid. I'm like, you're not telling me.
Well, I apologize to you.
It's cool. But my point is, what I'm saying is, we need to.
You're not gonna apologize there?
I said, are you listening to your own show?
Okay.
What are you listening to?
It's all over
you
the
don't even
place.
have headphones on.
Neither do you.
You had too tight. Now listen. My problem was this. We have to stick together. And I'm sick of us as a culture not sticking together. So I'm gonna call somebody out from my culture. Calling us like he's doing the same thing I'm doing, like the Vimeo. And I had my local high yellow, LeBron Gaddison, you know, he does all the technology. He went and reached out to him and talked to him and asked him like we should link up and just talk. And he was like, you know, Damon's arrogant. And he didn't want to offer no help. He didn't want to sit down with me. And I just really appreciate it. And I just want somebody to ask like me why he don't want to stick together. Or like why he don't think I deserve the conversation of when have I ever been arrogant with him? And how can you not be successful if you're not confident in what you do? But why we don't stick together? Like, why is the first thing he would bring up is a fault of mine as opposed to, you know what I mean? Like, he's a great man. I would want to say something good about him. So I'm only airing it out in public because I want to be spoken to.
So there's reasons. Sometimes there's reasons to call out other men. I'm talking about it.
Well, it's a direct experience.
Okay.
And I called his name out. So you're gonna tell me somebody says something and not tell me who said it. Check that.
I'm just listening. I'm listening.
Well, you check
So
that.
So you have experiences with cycling in the past? Or
No, I have no experience with him at all. But for some at the nickname, and he came by my gallery once, but I don't think he came by on purpose. And once he found out, he broke out and hang out, and I just be like, yo, it would look cooler if we came through together. You know, if he did something and he taught me, and I could say something like, I would rather my honest experience with another black man be positive, as opposed to, you know, damn, I reached out to just talk. Like, I thought maybe I could help him. He's still raising me. He's kickstarted. I put up my own money. He hasn't. But my point is, I just want somebody to call out Spike Lee and ask him why that day he said that, and why he didn't want to have a conversation with another man, black man that reached out for help. But I thought maybe he'd give me some guidance. And it just hurt my feelings.
You don't think
and also, I wanted to bring up there are the cookies, and I wanted to wait till you're ready to give some cookies.
I got some. Thank you, sir.
Got some already.
Yes, sir.
Trust me.
Where's the
star? You know that the reason why you're wearing them angels on your neck?
The reason I'm wearing them for my kids. It represents my kids, but you mean this style?
Okay, you know who did that first? You.
Jesus?
No, me.
Oh, really?
Yeah, that's Kanye. See, what happened was I get the angel for my kids to take the jewelry, and then I was wearing the angel. And Kanye was like, "Yo, I want to get an angel." I gave him my angel. And he was like, "Yo, I'm gonna get it back on you." So, but then everyone else, you know what I mean? So it's funny how sometimes you don't even know that got designed by me. I designed what's on your neck. What represents your kids is because I inspired that thought. I made them to represent my kids. You're wearing 2 of those on your neck, and I can show you the original one made. And you can ask Kanye or Jacob the Jew, anyone.
It's good to see you and Kanye working together again too, man. Can you trust him though? Because he's openly admitted he was disloyal.
My thing about trust is you can't trust anybody. So you don't put enough into anybody where their disloyalty can hurt you. So there's nothing he can do to hurt you. All he can do is be what he's been. He has a platform. And a lot of people listen to what he say. And as he's had that platform, he brought me into the equation by saying my name in an honorable way. That's worth me. And
let me just say something here. Let me just put this in real quick.
Daniel, by the way.
Just for the record, if you look at my man Dame, right? Because this is what I did the other day. I looked at Dame. I looked at all the people. I don't even have to call no names. I looked at all the people that started from him, and then they moved on. You know what I mean? Don't that mean a lot? Like for somebody to be able to bring people, like all the famous people that y'all talked about, the names that y'all talked about, and help get them to another level where they're able to help feed their family and feed other families. You know what I mean? That's what it's about. It ain't about each other tearing each other down no more. Got to look at the bigger picture, you know what I mean? And that's all he telling y'all. Like when he's screaming at you, talking about you working for somebody, hopefully that'll make you say, you know what? Yo, Charlamagne, yo, pretty face, like, maybe we should go in between that, start our own joint, you know what I mean? Because that's what it's about. And you think everybody ain't gonna follow y'all, B? Like people listen to
Do you
y'all.
mind if I was your boss?
No.
So can I hire you right now?
If you got the right money, yeah.
How much would it take you for me to be?
Do what? What do
you do right now?
I do on this job.
What do you get paid?
I'm a radio personnel.
What does your boss pay you?
Be a radio personnel. You talk on there for 4 hours a day.
How much?
How much you want to pay me?
You get that? You good?
For you? Yeah.
You please stop throwing out numbers. I don't even be trying to get running up on me.
Real people, real celebrities, real talk. Join the Breakfast Club. Morning 6 to 10.
I know you said you don't care, but do you think some people don't give you the credit you deserve for your business? Because it looks like by perception, the people you were with went up, the Jays and Kanye's, and by perception, they said you was down.
I can say this. In front of me, everyone gives me my promise. Right. So all that I see is respect for the money. You don't hear disrespect. That's not. See, like I said, people that talk about other people aren't there are cowards and they're insecure about the lack of things in front of you. So I just can't worry about it. No same people get in front of you. Sure, every day I'm outside. Every day, give me a handshake and give me my kudos. So I don't walk around getting denied. Maybe it's paper. But you got to think about the platforms that are saying the bad thing. Those are the corporate platforms. They're trying to take all the attention off one thing, which is me showing everyone how to get money direct to them. How to not to have a middleman. Like, you guys don't be the boss because you've all been here so long.
I want to know was Big Al really going to sign the Rockefeller, man? I want to know stuff like that.
Yeah, that's what Big Al.
Okay.
Yeah, he was. We were talking about. He was always, like I said, Big Al was a Harlem dude, and he was the first one in Harlem that was really doing it at that level before all of them. So like him, Cam, and Bloodshed, and no, Children of the Corn. Yeah, I was trying to think about when Mace came around. Like Mace came around a little later, but it was them, and yeah.
You think Big Al would have been one of them ones?
No doubt. He was coming with Rockefeller. I mean, Big Al was really, no doubt. No doubt. There's no doubt in my mind. Like, Jay-Z and Big Al battled on 139th Street. It was a good battle.
Who won?
Well, I would have to say this.
They weren't battling.
Let me say what happened.
I like that
battle. So this is what happened. I came around the block. I had Jay with me. Sean on. From home. Everyone knows. He come running up the block. What? Big L's a dope song. Big L's on 139th right now. It's good. And I was like, it's good. So Jay was right there, like, you ready? And I thought that was brave of Jay to be in the hall I'm blocking on 139th. Everybody was outside, and 47th Street, the block I'm from, they were still with 139th, and then everyone played. So it was just me and Jay with it. And Jay was back for back. And Jay like, it was high. So to me, if you don't want somebody wants to block it, it's high. Then on his block, on your own block. So that's how I gauged it. But in hindsight, I can definitely know it's not so much. Like at the time, when James told me about you gotta remember the moment you don't know how to. Right. Like that's what I'm saying. Like you wouldn't understand that people that raise. I don't even understand. All these people, I mean, documentaries about it before my friend. These ideals I came from, something like that is scary to most people want to see. Because the stuff that people make is scary. I had an ideal that you had to just stuff. You know what I'm saying?
So you didn't have the vision back then. You said you didn't know y'all was going to be legendary.
Meaning that I had the vision of, I didn't know that everyone was going to be legendary. Like Bobby Gilbert grew up with my
y'all in Richardson?
It's crazy. But also, like, we break up things from the street, like Rich Porter, and things that I made movies about. Yeah. I made a movie about a personal experience. And we hear about Rich Porter. I was there. You know what I mean? Like, these guys, I knew these guys. Guys write records about these guys, these are my friends. They started, the ones that did it honorably, started to come home. I was at the club the other night. My name is Aaron was there. Like original. And it's funny because, he's my man. He's the guy that everybody thought was gonna fold. So telling me about how Leon's son is a rapper, and the day some other rapper, Rex called them out, and they didn't know that he was in the background. I'm like, you're the original lieutenant of the list. This is our conversation. I'm gonna talk about it. I want to hear your book. It's all public domain, man. I want to know about this. He's like, what I'm saying is, the conversation I want to have with him is one that's going to make him millions, not one that's going to be more like a chatty conversation. It's not the conversation I want to have.
So if a man
I don't want to talk about
so if that man tells his story,
and that's on public record that he did the time for, right? And there's redemption in it, and it shows that, he got punished for what he did. All you have to remember.
If he's speaking about other men, that don't make him chatty.
He's talking about his own experience.
Okay.
You don't know chatty?
I'm trying to figure it out.
I'm trying to tell you, so you don't know. That's good. I like that you asking questions. I like that you don't want to be a chatty. No. So unconsciously you're chatty patty, and now that you know that you are one, you don't want to be one, and you're asking. I respect the question.
Okay.
So yeah, if I'm talking to you about my personal experience, no, how can I be a chatty patty? But if I be like, yo, such and such said such and such, but I'm not going to tell you who said it, that sounds like
Gotcha.
Now, are you and Cameron still opening the restaurant?
and it didn't work out. I don't have time. I was doing, I do things, businesses for fun, and it didn't. Like I'm doing 4 movies, painting for myself. I moved to LA and fashion at the Rachel Roy. I got so many businesses. I just didn't have time to run that because I'd be losing money, and it was like a complicated situation. So I opened up a couple of days, and then I said it was like, this is gonna be too much work, and I'm moving. This is Brooklyn, but my son opened up the rest of the fun.
If you're not in the streets anymore, do you still have to play by the street code in this business?
I mean, I think the ideals that you live by is an honor code. That code, yeah. Like if somebody owes me some money and I still punch them, no, nothing. Because I don't have to worry about how other people will see it. So you gotta remember in the street, violence is only an end for me. It's the last form. And the only reason why is to survive. So again, in the street, if someone owes you money, then everyone's gonna owe you. If someone smacks you, everyone's gonna smack you. The only reason why it's marketing. Like here's marketing for never owing me money, or here's marketing for never have to pay. One of the two. You don't have a choice. So that's why I chose not to be in that business. But my friends that play the game honorably, yeah, I still live by those ideals for sure. Like, let me tell you this, like, if there's a civilian in the street and they witness a murder and then they tell what they saw, that's not snitching. I'll be around that person. But if someone sold drugs and they hung out with friends all day long, and once they get caught, they tell their friends and take their friends that they really love and they're supposed to be their brothers, that their kids away from their kids, their wives, all that, just so they don't go to jail, I can't respect nothing about that. And that's what I've been taught. I'm always looking at it. Whether I'm in the street or not. Whether you snitch on me or snitch on somebody else, I'm not. Period. And that's how I was taught. And whoever knows that has to respect me. You can't expect me to break these ideals. Like, if I bring a guy that's played the game right for 20 years around someone or someone that hangs out with someone that, what happens? If I came around our circle with someone that hangs out or go up any kind of way, anywhere near that, because you don't ever know who it is. Like, there'd be times I'd be with people, and then after they be like, yo, it's happening. I didn't know. Or the time I had to be like, yo, that dude snitched on me. And Blackface put this dude up that I had to, and I was like, yo, that kid went to court on it. And he didn't know. So sometimes you don't know, but if you're conscious of it, if I consciously bought certain, someone that you knew was an informant or was around informants around any one of us, how would that?
It's the way you raise. You know what I mean? It's your morals, and honor and morals. It's not something you learn. It's something that you taught mostly. You know what I mean? A lot of guys not taught to have honor. They don't know what it's like when you see a guy make an honorable act. You know what I mean? Like you watch somebody give their life for their family. That's honorable. It's hard to look at, but you say, damn, that's real. When you step in front of a bullet for your son or a car coming and you move your son and you get hit, it's like that type of feeling. But it's, you know what I mean? People don't really.
It's not easy to be honorable.
Yeah,
your honor
really
gets tested every day. Only a real man can be honorable. And real men that are honorable take pride in it. So I brought somebody from my past. You want to ask me about my perspective about me? I'm going to definitely tell you I'm a superhero. Mm-hmm. But if you really want to know about me, ask about what I did or how I was before all this. He could tell you because he knew me when I was 16, 17. You understand what I'm saying? I'm still with my friends. I know him 20 years and got cool with him just because he knew him 20 years. So we 20 years. It don't matter. That's how Harlem does. When Cam come around and when Smoke come around and anyone else from Harlem comes around, it's expected. We all look out. That's all we do. My block's your block. As long as you ain't messing my baby, I'm going to give it an opportunity. If I got some room, you can go ahead and do what you got to do. But only for a certain circle. And this honor thing, people don't understand it, but it's like a curtain all over the world. And people, you'll know them. Like it's like, right? Like you'll bring a certain, we all know the same people. We all related to the same people. And that's who taught me, and that's who I listened to. So like when I was on the set of Too Honorable.
What's Too Honorable?
Okay. I shot people. They shot the Suarez. Remember what happened with Tough and I forgot what it was. But I was getting ready to get mad and I had the OGs around. So I didn't have to get mad. Tell me what you just told me. I think because we had done something, said some slick shit. I was the boss. I'm like, tell me what you just told me.
I thought you said you wasn't nobody's boss.
I was something boss. He said I'm a boss. I gotta get. When I get into a cab, after I grab a boss, I'm paying. Whoever's paying you is your boss at the time. The amount of time he's paying you, that's your boss. If somebody paying me right then and there, that's why it's hard for me to do shows. That means somebody paying me. I'm like, more than two. I just can't have somebody be my boss.
So Leo Cohen was your boss?
Never like that. Never my boss. Like a Chatty Patty Bank. He never put up $1 in his life. He was never my boss. He just represented someone else's money. And that's really what makes me mad, is when other people from other cultures represent other money, they act like bosses, but they make sure we know they're our boss. So like Joey I or Joey Amanda, whatever his name is, he's the head of black music. Why is a white man the head of black music? And what does that other white man feel? And what did he do to deserve that? What did Todd Moskowitz do to deserve the right to have a business model with Asylum that takes money off of a culture that he doesn't participate in? How can a guy that can't dance tell someone else what record to sell and how unless it's for his own personal agenda? And then why do people from other cultures tell us what to do, but they can't get no money in their own culture? If we are going to break a rock and roll group, did you know what? Why do more black people know about that white man than white people?
With Jay-Z and you?
No, that's not why.
No rappers.
He wasn't with nobody. He was Def Jam. That's what he did. And then when they sold Def Jam to Universal, they kept Lior to run the, and they had what's his name? Russell had nothing to do with them. That's what he did. There's always some white man in charge of black people. And it's always a white man that's not even from. And when I say culture, people that are like-minded, like Lior and Tom Moskowitz, they don't even live in culture. They don't listen to rap. When Michael Jackson came on the stage, Lior did not want to go. He didn't care. You understand what I'm saying?
Oh, play devil's advocate. You got white people that work.
No, you're playing devil. I don't work. You're chatting back. You don't know who works for me, man. How you telling me who works for me?
So no, it's got to be. I'm assuming.
All right. I don't answer chatting back. Ask me a man question.
Do you have white people that work for you?
At times. But
get mad at me asking a legit question.
What I said is, no, you told me I did.
I mean, I'm assuming.
No, you don't assume that, because what I'm saying at times, like when I'm on a movie set and I'm paying Jonah Schwartz to be my DP and my cinematographer, at that moment he's working for me. But when you want a salary, when you told what to do every day and all that, and I'm saying I'm not mad for being the boss. I just I don't hire people. I'm mad at y'all for having the same job for 25 years. That's what I'm mad at. Like I can't see how people do the same thing every day and get told what to do every day. And have to ask when to go on vacation. I just can't. It doesn't. Guys like us don't do that. See you in the street, you hit it for work, and you see him when you see him at a certain period of time. It's like, however you get it, you get it. You got a structured schedule. You have to be told what to do. Did you do that? You Danny went to school. I'm not saying like that. You know, it's
nothing wrong with a job though. But you want to get ownership.
No. This is America, the land of the free. You can be an entrepreneur. Jobs are for lazy people that don't want to invest in themselves.
You gotta start somewhere.
You've been here for 25 years.
No, I haven't. Only been there for 4.
But where else you been doing radio? Just 4 years?
No. I started in '98 as an intern, and I'm constantly working my way up. What?
I don't understand. I'm on a different planet. So you understand? It's frustrating because.
But you act like you never worked your way up to a position. You didn't just jump out of the tycoon.
I never had a job.
But you didn't jump out of the tycoon and got the oil.
Yes, I did. I went and grabbed it. Yes, I flipped.
From the womb?
Yes, from the womb. I was dang dash the day I was born.
But you didn't have everything that you have now from the womb. That's all I'm saying.
Like, the way I got it was not by a job. I got it by putting up my own money. And then the more we got, like one day I have a lot of money. And then the next day I don't. You know why? Because I put it all in the street. people don't put it in the street. They don't put their own money up. So you keep saying, yo, you just started. No, dog. I've always flipped.
Yeah, but you know, some people make money.
Well, some people,
legit.
That's not me.
Some people make money illegit.
The way I flip is legit. Wait a second. Look what I'm doing right now. So I make a movie, right? Both sides. I put my own money up. I make the movie and I bag it up in $10 bottles, and I sell it. Right? That's it. There's the magic. Now I have a movie coming because I put up the money to make it, and because I'm taking it and putting it out myself as opposed to other people, where people can just buy it right now at besidethemovies.com for $10, and I'm making money. So if I sell 25,000, I make $250,000. If I sell 100,000, what do I make? What's $10? You know, if I do 100,000,
a lot.
I see why. Actually, you're doing really well. But you got far. You're doing well. As far as dump over here.
Little Tyrone that just got out of school
can do that.
How's he gonna get his money? He got to start somewhere.
Let's stop.
Little Tyrone,
listen. No, stop. Little Tyrone, wait. Stop. Little Tyrone. Why is that the scenario you make? Is that Little Tyrone? Let's talk about you. What about you?
Me. When I got out of college, I was doing mixtapes.
Right. So let's start now.
But I own my own mixtapes.
Gotcha. You don't own your own mixtapes. You don't own the music.
Right.
So you're in a fake existence.
Okay.
You think you own something? You don't own it. No, you're not. You're somewhere in the. Listen to me.
How you get money?
If you want me to
back again.
No. I know you're curious. Listen. I'm gonna explain it to you. The difference between me and you is, you have a job. You started with a job. You still have a job, right?
How do people start with?
Can I talk? How about this as men? Let's do the man thing.
Okay, I'm listening. Again.
I appreciate it. Good. So, you have a job. Did you have a job 10 years ago?
Yes.
You have a job now?
Yes.
10 years ago, I didn't have a job. I started by selling records, but I made, and I went through the process of like ownership. So I never had a job. 10 years later, I still don't have a job.
How did you get the studio time if you didn't have a job? That's what I'm asking. How did you
stop. I'm gonna tell you. Can I stop?
I got the explanation. I don't know.
How did you want the explanation? You talking?
I'm asking.
You're talking.
You said ask.
But you're not listening.
I'm listening.
How did you listen and speak at the same time? Our perspective. So what I'm telling you is that was then. Right now, you don't need a studio. All you need is a computer, which everyone has. Pro Tools and a mic. I haven't made a record in the studio in 2 years. You know this. So stop that. Also, you don't need any money for knowledge. The problem is y'all don't take the time to listen. Y'all talk too much about gossip and not about what's going to be. It's so easy. It's an internet. So there is no excuse in not being able to sell something on Vimeo or PayPal, which is what people do, and have an audience and make money off it. You can flip. So when you make more money off, like, I'm not going to hold any money until I have a football team. I'm trying to flip all my money to get to $1 billion. So once I get to the football team, when I was using to say, dog, I just use my own money, and when I don't have it, y'all on the radio talking about me, right? And when I do have it, y'all asking me about other that I did, 20 years ago.
So you got it right now?
No, I don't. I got the movies on the street. I'm never going to have it because as soon as I get it, it goes on the street. I don't put up money. Saving money is for suckers to me. I have so much confidence in me that I flip. And 10 years later, and 15 years later, and 20 years later, I'm still a boss, and you still got a job. Now, wait, maybe you might want to break the cycle. Because what's going to happen now? Your kid going to grow up wanting to be like who? His dad. And what is dad got?
An honorable man.
What is his dad at?
Money in the bank.
Stop. Stop talking. What does his dad have? A job.
Everything.
You're not listening to me. Your father. Wait, listen to me.
Listen.
Answer.
I'm trying to answer your question.
But you're not answering my question. You're saying what you want. You have a job, so your son's gonna want a job. He's gonna think because if daddy has a job, he should have a job. Case in point. I don't have a job. My son Boogie doesn't have a job.
Right.
That's all. I hustle for my kids. I don't want my kids to ever want to have a job.
But if my son wants a job, there's nothing wrong with my son wanting his job.
To me, it is.
Could you explain this to me 2 days ago?
I don't want my son to call him. To me, call another man boss is calling another man daddy.
Why?
It's not for men to be told what to do by other men. That's just what Harlem is raised. So yeah, you could go be calling somebody else boss, a man, or whatever, and hustle for you can't pass to your son, but use a little money you get from what they get. But you gotta look at the margin. If the radio company's making $1 billion, shouldn't you be making some of that? Like somewhere near that? It's not. It doesn't make mathematical sense. The people that are spending your money don't wake up this early. I guarantee you they don't go to work 4 hours a day and break their food and get back for pennies on the dollar.
Now, what do you think about people doing things for experience? Like, say, Kanye making the transition into fashion and saying, I'm going to do an internship and get a job and work for somebody because I don't know how to do this. Or say your son said, I'm going to have my own, we're opening up our own restaurant, our own store where we sell these cookies, but I need to go work someplace first so I can learn all the ins and outs of how everything operates. You think that's a smart thing to do?
I think being an intern, for me, the best way to learn is to go put your own money and do it yourself, to be honest. But like, Kanye is a legend in something else. So in that respect, yeah, you can do that. You know your kids is all right. Like, there are things like when I do art, I don't collect it for immediate money. It's not going to pay my kids' bills now, but it might pay my grandkids' bills later. There's certain things I do for, like, when I did, I think you have to practice what you want to be. I don't think rehearsing, being told what to do is the best way to become a boss. I think the best way to become a boss is to take $20 and go buy something, like 3 shirts, and sell them for and make it into 40. And like I've taught my son Lucky, the reason why I have a gallery is so a storefront is so that my kid Lucky could sell something but not drugs. So in the summertime, he sits in front of the gallery and sells hats and goes to the store and he learns how it feels to make money on time. And he knows that he can sell something and make a margin. And then he takes the money that he makes and he has to take me, Ava, and Raquel to eat for the day. So when he stays with me, I make him, he can't eat cereal and we can't eat until he sells a certain amount of hats. I agree with that. I think, but you can't do that in someone else's store. No, I agree with that. Let me finish. And now with my daughter, same thing. This is Ava. She got to sit there, but I get to see. I'm sitting out there with her, me and Rocky. And some little punk, little dude come up, like, I don't know what Popperton is, but can I have your number? And I get to yell at the guy, and I would never let my daughter bring home a corny-ass dude like you with ashy ache, like all that. And then I get those experiences with her, and I get to see how people taking her serious. Like, she gets to see all those things with her. So I agree. I have a gallery in China, so what did I do? I brought Boogie, and I brought Ava to China. So she's 14 years old. She already been in China. Boogie already DJ'd in China. I brought Rocky, showed her art all over in China already. When you own stuff, you can do what you want with it. I got a club. How many parties we do this week? Like 3, right? I just came in home a week, every day, screaming in the club just because I own it. Lenora. So I got to be Harlem because I'm black. Black man can't own the club out of Harlem. I'm just from Harlem. I don't agree. It's Noah's Club. Lenora's is Noah's Club. But I agree with that. I think that's what I'm saying. Do that. So mentality-wise, to stop the cycle for your kids, you don't want your kid to think his hero can have a boss. Superman didn't have a boss. Batman didn't have a boss. So I want my kids to look at me like a superhero. How can a superhero be told what to do? Are you a superhero to your kid? Absolutely. Not when your boss is in the room.
You see, well, we're gonna be on a different level. But see, because there's a difference because I don't have to. I don't do anything to have to.
Man, if y'all don't,
no, it's true. But I agree with you.
Are you gonna push the money up from Mook and Drake to battle? You want to put that together?
If Drake will step up, we'll organize it. I'm sure amongst my home. The thing is, I think Drake made a fundamental mistake in battle. He challenged. You see, in the street, you can't challenge somebody and take that challenge. Right. So now that, and this is from what I heard, so it ain't no disrespect to Drake, but I think he said something on emotion, but on business level, people told him, yo, you got too much to lose. So what I told Mook was, Drake's not going to value this next week, and that would be next week. Until Drake has something to lose, he's not going to, I wouldn't advise, like, oh, it's like going to a dice game where you got $1 million in your pocket and it's only $100 between everyone. That's how they're looking at it. They ain't got nothing. He wants to do it. He wants to do it, but I think he's being advised not to. But whenever he's ready, like just how I like the way Floyd did it with Pacquiao. They like talking and he actually made sure that it was done correctly by having a direct conversation with chatty ones with Pacquiao, and it didn't happen. And the timing is right. So when it's time for like I almost would prefer them to battle when he has more than because right now. If I'm Drake, see the way I do when I challenge somebody, I think I put my eyeballs in their eye, and they're stuck. So if I'm Drake, I'm like, I'm not battling him. Nobody really knows him but people that battled. If he wins, now he's the underdog. You never fight the underdog. You have nothing. If he wins, he's Drake. If he loses, now he got it beat. But if Mook is bigger than Drake and they both are making money doing other things, that's a battle. Right. So I don't anticipate if we can talk about it as a strategic thing. If I was in this camp, I would say, yo, stop talking. And let's make money. You know what I'm saying? And I'm sure someone older said that based on action. But when he's ready, as gentlemen, I think we should have a battle. And I think we'll be just the biggest Pacquiao line.
And technically, Floyd was a little chatty patty because he brought up the fact that Pacquiao may be on steroids.
Pacquiao, just like you said, like boss. I'm Floyd in what I do. Period. It's no.
Okay, stop.
This is Floyd. It don't matter. This is what I do.
The argument is it's a perspective. No, see, that's for people with love. What I'm saying is, Floyd. No one listened to Floyd till he was rich. Floyd wasn't Floyd till Floyd beat the other Spanish dude. What's his name? That Pacquiao. Chavez, right? No. Eloy. Until Floyd beat, I was the first person to put the sponsor Floyd. I always knew he was in the picture. So I used to put Rockwear on at a long time. I used to come to my house and all these kind of things. So, but no one would pay attention to Floyd until Floyd had something to give them. So you're not Floyd if you got money like Floyd or the money that champ had. You're going to have money like Floyd. But Pacquiao, you're not Pacquiao. When I say until you're Pacquiao, Floyd wasn't listening to Pacquiao until Pacquiao beat all these people. Then he became Pacquiao. So you starting as a person that's from the street, you don't have as much money as someone that's successful yet, but they're not going to fight you until you have as much or more than they do. They're not going to fight you until they have something. It's a one-sided situation in this country. To him, he's saying he has an art for war. He's like all day he battles. Like we don't say, like I'll keep him. I don't want to give him. He always wants to figure it out. That's what we do. And right now, for the sport, he's like, I need to show, he challenged him. But Drake's not in it like that. But the sport he wants to do with Drake's, he's making a lot of money doing shows. If you kill him, he's not going to make no more money doing shows. You could fuck his career up like that. So he's not going to fuck his career up unless it's way more on the line. You killing him, you killing him.
The point I was making, though, is that I understand, but that's like, he coming into what I do, right? So what I do, I'm the best in what I do.
Skill
so
set.
If he coming in, I don't care what kind of money he got, where he come, but if
you don't. But what does he care?
But he should have said nothing. So if you in my field,
pretend you him for a second. But what's he saying? Like, be Drake. And I'm your man.
I can't be Drake.
He think he nice with his skill set.
So you can't even think how he's thinking right now. He's not thinking like Drake. So you mad at him for not thinking like you. Drake doesn't have a mustache. You do.
But he did say something like you don't know if you deserve it yet or something like that.
But then after that, we was in Toronto when he said that. I was in Toronto.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So when I wasn't at the actual press event because I went to the game and all that. But the next day at the joint, it was a battle at the joint, like, and I was there, he was there, and they came to me like, yo, listen, we get Drake to do one round right now with you. Now this is with no on and no nothing. You know what I'm saying? And I'm just like, free? Yeah. That's the first thing. I'm like, yo, free? I'm like, let me speak to him. You know what I'm saying? So I'm gonna speak to him. He's like, yo.
That was the picture we saw.
No, the picture, that's when it first started.
Okay.
The picture's when it first started. This just happened like 2 weeks ago.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? And he like, yo, this is when the battle almost happened. He's like, yo, I'm like, you got rhymes, don't you?
He had ball waiting for you.
Yeah, he did. I'm like, I'm like, but it's cool though. I'm like, you know what I'm saying? You got rhymes. I'm like, yo, I ain't really got no rhymes right now for you. He's like, but he start going into like, I just figured like, what do we even here on this earth for? We can't, we can't.
I set up.
Yeah. So I'm like, you know what? I said, give me an hour. Cool. Give me an hour. I'm gonna go come up with some. Trust me. Give me an hour. Now, mind you, I was already drinking. I was there for 5 hours. They seen me for 5 hours already. So then after the hour, they came back. I'm like, yo, tell them it's on. Like, let's do it. So it looked
So all possibility was about to happen like right then and there, spur of the moment. And then 5 minutes later, it was like, yo, his management was like, no, he can't do it.
Yeah, of course. All I'm doing is you can't ask about for family. But again, this reminds me now, I can tell you about parallel family. How I can respect. So when Nas had moved out, I don't know what happened. I was at Arizona, shooting Rockwell campaign. And when I landed, I heard everything. When I landed, I was quick.
You didn't advise that?
I did not say that was funny. So, he heard Gotti. So I called Herb. I'm like, Herb, why did you know, all this kind of stuff that you don't do. And I wish I could have reminded him until I knew why y'all didn't call me so I could put it. You understand what I'm saying? So in the moment, an artist who's inspired is gonna try to fight, but he wants to have somebody there that Jay didn't have that, because that was the only elbow he really took. That was the beginning of the end. Stuff. But someone was there to tell Jay, like, you bugging. You know what I mean? Someone older or smarter than him probably gave him the right advice, because I wouldn't advise.
Would you advise Jay to reply to Ether at all, or just leave it and take over and
See, at the time, I felt like couldn't be a like Jackson. To me, you can't say like one thing. When I got my group, who I'm with, I like to tell the truth. I don't like to say the bottom line is that's true. It's just considered true things. So I don't like stuff that I say no. But I think like emotionally, I can't.
There's a little chatty patty.
Like, yeah. So I was like, yo, you just got caught up in gossip. You don't have to answer this. If he said something real, like, ain't dummy thing, I thought that was dope. But I'm not gonna find it. You know what I mean? I'm happy to say it. So I thought, like, we should let it rock out. That's why he didn't know what's around. You know what I mean? So I thought we had played it fair, and I don't care if other people think all I care is I didn't know what I didn't think it was. You know what I mean? But I'm wrong.
But www, no side of the movie. Don't forget. Make sure y'all pick that up. You know what I mean? We losing.
In America, we build, and one we explore. With freedom means you don't have to choose just one adventure. You get both. Introducing the all-new 3-row Jeep Grand Cherokee L. Jeep, there's only one.
Patrick's Day is upon us. And while the Irish holiday has a very rich cultural and religious history that should be respected and in the forefront of any celebration, it's also become a day for many to let loose and enjoy themselves in alcoholic beverage. In today's video, we're going to take a look at the pathway alcohol takes as it travels through your body. We're going to see various organs and tissues that interact along that way, and we're even going to discuss that oh so wonderful feeling. There's a lot to do, So let's do it. First and foremost, I have to get this out of the way. Alcohol, or more properly known as ethanol, is a legitimate toxin. While there are studies that have shown that small amounts of daily alcohol consumption can actually be good for you, those studies are pretty inconsistent with each other, and you'd be hard-pressed to find anybody willing to say that alcohol is overall healthy for you. And this is not me judging in a clever way. Personally, I am a bourbon man. So my favorite ways to wind down. But there's never been a point, as I'm sipping on the bourbon, that the cells in my body are like, yes! More toxic ethanol for us to detoxify and potentially get harmed from. But with that said, if you are an adult of legal drinking age and you're partaking responsibly, all the power to you. I'm not going to get in your way. Just know that it's not good for you. Okay, let's talk. To the cadavers. Obviously, the very first place the alcohol is going to enter your body is going to be the mouth or the oral cavity. And we can see that very thing right here. But this is a bisected head in the mid-sagittal plane. So that means we put it right there on the center. And that allows us to see a ton of vertical anatomy, such as this gigantic tongue, a mandible here, you see the roof of the mouth, and the hard palate, and the soft palate behind it, and this little flappy thing. It's called the epiglottis, and we'll see that or what it does in just a second. But the thing to really understand is that lining the tongue, lining the cheeks, in fact, lining the entire inner surface of the oral cavity is mucosal tissue. Mucosal lining that really just kind of helps keep it lubricated and just humid inside of the mouth. But the thing to understand is that it's capable of absorbing alcohol. In fact, they did a study with some wine tasters to see how much alcohol is being absorbed from the wine tasters. Think about it. They sip the wine, they swash it around, and spit it out. They may not be drinking it, but spending a considerable amount of time in their mouth. It makes sense to figure out if some of that's being absorbed in the bloodstream. It turns out a very small amount is. And I mean a very small amount. So that means if you're casually drinking, a very extraordinarily small amount of that alcohol is being directly into the bloodstream. The vast majority of it is going to continue on. And it's going to bypass the tongue and enter this next area called the pharynx or your throat. And that's where that epiglottis is going to come down and block off the airway. This is the upper portion of your trachea or your windpipe. And that makes this your voice box or the larynx. And you obviously don't want the fluid going down into your airway, so the epiglottis diverts it and pushes it into the esophagus. That's what you're looking at here. And the esophagus is your food tube, or I guess in this instance, it'd be a food and a drink tube. In fact, I have another esophagus for us to look at here now. This is going to look a little weird. Probably somewhat difficult to wrap your mind around. But this portion, this is the larynx, or your voice box. This is the Adam's apple. So that means you're looking at an anterior view of the trachea. This is the thyroid gland. That makes this part of the tongue. But what we really want to focus on is how to slide the trachea and move it to the side. You'll see this is the esophagus. It's just a muscular tube that is connecting that pharynx up here all the way down to the stomach. So the stomach is actually going to be the very first real place that alcohol is going to be absorbed into the body. It's somewhere around 10, maybe 15 or so percent. The vast majority of alcohol is going to get absorbed in the small intestine, we'll see in a second. But you can see on this stomach right here, this, put this up properly, is the end of the esophagus, and then it turns into the stomach. It's just kind of curving over to the right. But this, I guess I should say here, at the base of the stomach, we have this really important structure called the pyloric sphincter. So this section of the stomach from here until the small intestine start is called the pylorus. And inside of there is a very strong sphincter called the pyloric sphincter. And the reason why this sphincter is so important is because it's literally a gatekeeper. That's what pylorus means. If you drink alcohol on an empty stomach, the pyloric sphincter is going to be more open, and the alcohol is going to just enter into the small intestines, meaning that on an empty stomach, alcohol is going to get into your bloodstream quicker. But if you have food or some other drink, what's going to happen is It's inside the stomach, a bunch of stomach acid is going to be secreted in this pyloric sphincter. It's actually going to pinch tight and shut, and it'll slowly start opening. It kind of like just casually opens just a little bit here and there. That's called gastric emptying. It's at a very specific rate, well, more or less specific, and that means you have food with your alcohol. It's going to get into your bloodstream. Delay. It's not going to happen right away. At least the majority of it. But like I said, some of the alcohol is capable of being absorbed in the stomach. In fact, I have a different stomach for us to look at right here. If I can just organize for you. So this stomach has actually been cut. We've removed the pylorus, and that allows us to do this one here. I love this. To reflect it like this, you can see the inside of the stomach. And you're looking at all these folds there. Those are called gastric muci, and that literally means a stomach fold. Just really unique and interesting to look at. What I want you to picture is that this entire inside of the stomach is also lined with mucosal tissue. And that mucosal tissue serves a variety of functions. One of the most important being to actually secrete mucus, and that mucus prevents the stomach acid or the hydrochloric acid from consuming the stomach itself. Kind of an important job. But the thing to understand is that the alcohol can be absorbed into that mucosal tissue, and then from there you can get into the bloodstream and head to the liver. So this is the entire reason why if you take a drink, after just a couple minutes, you can start to feel a rush. That's even though the majority of the alcohol actually hasn't gotten into your bloodstream yet. Some of it has because it was absorbed through the stomach here and then went to the liver. But the rest of it is actually, if I can pull this back, going to go into your intestines. And I'm bring them all over here. We're going to see this a little more clearly in another cadaver section in a second. This is where the vast majority of your absorption is going to occur. But that is going to take just a little bit more time to pull off. So let's go ahead and look at a different cadaver and finish our journey. Quick recap. First, drink alcohol. It means your oral cavity or your mouth. Not absorbed into the mucosal tissue and went directly to your bloodstream with this very small amount. Swallowed it and it went down your esophagus to your stomach. So the stomach on this cadaver here is going to be located, hopefully you can see this, just like that. This is the stomach, and it's hiding behind this massive organ we'll talk about in a second called the liver. What's going to happen? Remember, as it sends it into the small intestines are going to do that absorbing. So the first place we can see the small intestines coming out onto this cadaver is going to be right here. Now, as I move these small intestines, you're going to notice something's different about it compared to the one we just saw in that other dissection. The intestines are attached to your body. This is called the mesentery. And it's the way I always talk about it with my students is I say, like, all those zombie movies, in the zombie movies, you get like an abdominal wound and the guts are just like dragging it. I mean, it's possible. It's definitely possible, but that's a pretty serious cut. The intestines are attached. And they need to be, because what they do is they absorb the nutrients, but they have to absorb them to somewhere, bring them to somewhere. And look closely here, see all these blue lines. Those are veins taking whatever they've absorbed. So this would be any food or drink, any nutrients that go into the stomach that into the intestines is going to be absorbed into the mesentery and is then going to travel to the liver. The same goes for anything that's absorbed by the stomach. And we didn't just see that alcohol or ethanol is absorbed in some quantity by the stomach itself. So the stomach and the mesentery and the intestines are going to send alcohol to the liver. And look how big this thing is. On top of it is a diaphragm muscle that I've scooted up so we can get a pretty good view of this liver here. It's absolutely enormous. This is the second largest organ in the body if you count the skin as an organ. This thing is so amazing. It has so many different functions. But one of the coolest properties, I guess you could say, of it is that it regenerates. Most of your body does what's called healing. Healing isn't all that cool. Healing is a mixture of some regeneration, but mostly scarring. Not the liver. The liver is capable of true regeneration. That's because it takes so much abuse. It's not just ethanol. There's other toxins that get into your digestive tract that it has to try to detoxify through some interesting chemistry. But Throughout all that abuse, you can take some damage, so it's such an amazing organ. Let's take a step back again, right? So the alcohol goes into the liver, and this is where it's going to be met an enzyme called alcohol dehydrogenase. But I should also mention the stomach also had alcohol dehydrogenase. What this enzyme does is it interacts with ethanol and converts it into something called acetaldehyde. Here's the ironic thing. Acetaldehyde is actually more toxic than the ethanol itself. And if that's where it was left, then we'd have a serious problem. If we left just the acetaldehyde as it was, oh, you'd be in a world of trouble. But luckily, the liver is also going to have another enzyme that converts that acetaldehyde into something known as acetate. The body can easily take care of acetate, no problem. Here's the thing. The amount of alcohol you consume and the time frame you consume that has a pretty strong influence on the liver's ability to burn it all the way to acetate. So what will happen is you drink it, it gets absorbed, it's permeating the tissues, but isn't able to handle the entire workload all at once. So some of that ethanol is going to make its way into the bloodstream, because the liver is then going to send the blood directly to the heart. That's what this gigantic is here. Move this is the pericardium. You can see the heart here, and what's going to happen is the heart is then going to beat and send that blood directly to the lungs right next door. And this is how alcohol can be underground. Because as the ethanol gets in, remember it's in the blood, but it's going to go to the lung tissue, and inside of the lungs, you have all these hollow air sacs that are surrounded with capillaries. What will happen is the ethanol will evaporate into those little air sacs, and then as you breathe out, so kind of picture this plate, and as you breathe out and kind of squished, what's going to happen is that ethanol is going to go up your respiratory tract, it's on your breath. This is the entire premise behind your breathalyzer, why it works. So kind of interesting that way that you can actually get rid of alcohol. When you are drinking, you're getting rid of alcohol by simply breathing it out. But not all of the ethanol is going to do that. The rest of it's going to go back to the heart, and then when that heart contracts, it's going to send the blood all the way up straight to the brain, and then start distributing it throughout your entire body. And this is something that's so important to take note of. Ethanol is going to interact with pretty much everything in your body.
I'll never forget the day I heard them playing that on Misty. What do you think?
Yeah. Come on with it.
Greetings, brothers and sisters around the world. Pull up a chair. It's time to get down to the business. I am your host, your brother,